Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy New Year, everybody. What is up and welcome in. New intro, new year, the same BvB. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault. Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for being here. We have over 50 people sitting in the chat waiting for us to come on back. We've missed you too. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year, Dave. Dan Campbell would be jealous of the outfit you got on today. How was your New Year's? How was your holiday? And how was your break?
The Detroit people sent me this, so I had to wear it because, this might be the only team that could beat somebody in the NFC. We'll get to all of that in a second. New Year's was great. Stayed up late. Didn't really do anything. The kids tried to hustle me into going to see Post Malone on the Strip on New Year's Eve. And Jess kiboshed it. All I had to do was be her muscle, which was great. I didn't have to be the Iron Fist. I could just be the guy. Yeah, what Mama said. Yeah. And so instead we compromised and had them bring all of their friends to our house.
Nice.
So we had a big New Year's Eve house party at the house, and I went to sleep. I tried my best, but I said, whatever goes on here, that's fine. Everybody drop your keys in this bucket. Nobody's leaving this house. If anybody needs to leave, I will drive you. It was good. It was good. It was, the day after, though, going back to school. Whose idea was this? This is you need an extra day after New Year's Day to get everybody back on schedule.
Madeline got that. Madeline gets that. She got an extra day on top of that, though. I mean, she got today, but they have Tuesday off. They don't. Today was the first day for Maddie's school. Today was the first day back. Second's a holiday. Wednesday start.
Yeah, that I'm in favor of that. Make that the rule. The second we started on the second, Kendall was not happy with anybody. Nobody was happy. But the college kids are happy because they're not in school yet.
Right.
We're going back east. We're going to take Kylie back east. I'll give you the dates, but we got a date to move into the dorm and all this other stuff. So great idea. Go to Philadelphia and New Jersey in January.
Warm.
No, not at all.
Very warm. I was just there. I know what it's all like. How was back east for you? I mean, we saw the pictures. New York looked great. Yeah.
The weather was pretty mild, huh? Wasn't too bad.
Extremely mild, except for the end. We got full blown winter on the last 3 days. It was 27 degrees. So we got the full. Yeah, we got the full blown. Madeline was like, "Where's the snow? If it's going to be this cold, why isn't it snowing?" And I was like, "Well, it doesn't always snow. We got snow here in Vegas today. It's crazy. Snowed here before Boston, which is kind of wild. But so the mountains up here got nailed with a couple of inches of snow this morning.
Waiting for it to inch down into the neighborhood,
right?
Into Mount Charleston ain't far away
because you're high up. Yeah,
and it's rainy. And I went outside. I was going to try to do a pre-show walk, and I said, you know what? It's raining right now, and I don't have the rain gear on, so I'm not going right now. I'll go after the show.
Right.
But you had a packed trip.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, we did a lot in 9 days. It was really fun to go back and, I saw my brother, which was nice. And I got a chance to go to a really cool barbecue place that a high school friend of mine runs and gave me a full blown tour and, gave me some barbecue tips that I can come back here with. And it was cool. It was cool to see his operation and then hang out with my brother and my nephew, who is getting big and he's almost 14 years old. And now he's doing CrossFit and he's starting to really want to fill up and fill out. My brother was always short, but really stocky. So his son is taking after him, although he's probably going to be taller than my brother. So that was fun. And then New York was New York. I mean, it's New York at the holidays, and my daughter had never seen anything like that really. And the chaos and the trains and the, it's just, we took a pedicab. She was the first time taking that in a big city and watching the guy weave in and out of traffic. She was like, what is he doing?
Explain it for the people that don't know, that are here on the show that have never been. What is a pedicab?
So a pedicab is a guy who you get in the back and it seats 3 people, and he's on a bike, and he will go ahead and bike ride. This guy had a motorized one. He had a little help.
Hold on. Oh, he hung up. I had Emerson Latzia calling in right now. Oh, wait, Here he is right here. Hold on. This is great. Hold on.
What?
Let's see.
He's a brigade member.
So hello, sir. Hey, dude. Look, what's going on? You're on the show right now. Look, say hi to Matt.
Hi, Emerson. Hey. How are you? How are you? Buffalo Bills hat. Be careful walking in Boston with that thing on.
We'll call you. I'll call you after the show. I just wanted to say Happy New Year and touch base with you. Are you wearing a Buffalo Bills hat?
He is.
Yeah, man. It's the only beanie I can find. It's my wife's beanie.
Do you wear anything else of your wives?
Uh-oh.
Her panties.
That's gonna.
Okay.
We're never getting off late night. Goodbye. I'll call you later.
There we go. Yeah, we're officially back.
Goodbye.
Show is officially back. Goodness gracious.
I couldn't resist. I was going to put it away and say, no, I can't answer it, but I had to do it.
Oh, I got to do it. You got to do it. Sirius XM Replay 159. Always great to have those guys with us here. Sports Grid Replay, all still happening here into the new year for 2024. I'm very happy to be back. It was a travel day yesterday from hell. It just typical. Coming back is always more difficult than getting there. It's not nearly as exciting or fun. And then you get the delays and everything else that comes with it. But saw a really cool show at the end. Someone who watches this show, listens to the juice, and watches BvB. He is part of a show called Recycled Percussion, which was here in Vegas for years.
Yeah.
You seen him?
Yeah.
Oh,
we took the kids. Yeah.
Very cool. So he watches the show.
Awesome.
Justin,
great.
The guy. So he reached out to me and he wanted to have lunch, and I couldn't get my schedules to be synced up. And he wants to go on a vacation. He said, tell me when you're back, bring your daughter. She'll love the show. And I was like, I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah.
America's Got Talent.
Of course.
He ran through during the show. We went and saw it yesterday, or 2 days ago rather. And I didn't realize the success that they've had for how long they've been doing it. And he's from New Hampshire. So he's from Loudon, New Hampshire. And he's with his cousin. His wife's in the show. His daughter's in the show. So I didn't know what I was walking into, and Madeline didn't either. And she was ecstatic. She was so happy.
It's fun.
Yeah. She loved it. She was super fun. We met them afterwards, took pictures, got autographs, and, hung out with them. And it was this really little tiny theater. He gave us amazing seats. We had 3rd row seats. And so it was a really cool way of ending the trip and not even knowing anything about it. So I've told Justin, with Chaos and Kindness is his charity. And I was like, we got to talk about favorite thing about today, doing something with Chaos and Kindness, because it's the exact same principle. It's the same thing that we talk about and the same thing that he does, talking about trying to uplift people and trying to give people positivity and, just leaving the world better than we find it type of situation. So we may have some way of linking up with those guys because then they're now, because I guess the Americans Got Talent run was a decade long here in Vegas, and it's over. So they're going to be changing things up. So they all moved back to New Hampshire. So they're doing shows now just locally in New Hampshire, and they may go back on tour or may do something different.
Percussion is.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Americans Got Talent show is still down on the Strip.
It is, but I guess it's ending though. I guess they're replacing it. It's on its way out. I don't know. It may be gone now. And I think in 24, it's going to be on its way out. So, they're turning the Luxor into a giant Dorito. Have you seen that yet? Yeah.
They're changing. We saw it both in LA and in Phoenix when they just basically, I don't know, what's that called? Wrapping?
Yes.
When they wrap a building and they put all these advertisements and all these things on it. I can't wait to see all the FanDuel and DraftKings and all those companies wrap places here in Vegas without a book Won't matter.
I don't,
You know,
will
they're
they
gonna-
do? Will they do it? I don't know if they'll do it.
Oh, I bet they'll do it. It's Vegas. It's a lot of. They're going to be a lot of shots of the city.
Right.
You know, like the F1. Well, we saw signs for everything.
We did.
You know, with all of that, and just a glimpse of it. Some executive somewhere wants that shot that they can show and say that they were on, and they can tell whomever,
Right.
look, we're on the building. Doritos is now the Luxor. Okay.
Looks like a big chip, though. I mean, just turning into a big chip. That's what they're
Right.
turning the Luxor into, is a gigantic Doritos potato chip. So we'll see how the Vegas Strip unfolds. But one more quick thing about New York, because I drove through Times Square and we walked. I showed Madeline Times Square just to let her see it, and got a little souvenir, and we left and very quickly ran away. And like, I watched the ball drop. Like, I stood where the ball dropped, and then I watched where the ball dropped, and it confirmed everything I said on this show, that I will never be in Times Square ever on New Year's Eve.
Can confirm. And you guys, it's been a little while since we've been doing a show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all of those things. Tell someone to subscribe to the YouTube channel today, if you can. Just tell someone to go hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get 2,000 subscribers by the Super Bowl. So we got about a month to get there. I think we're going to get there, but that's the goal personally. I got it confirmed from people in New York, and we have people watching the show in New York. I asked the kids, they're young adults that produce the shows for Sports Grid and everything. Did you guys ever see the ball drop? And they're like, Dave, we're from New York. We would never do that. That's only for the tourists. Oh, never is never. Like never.
Never,
You were
never.
just there. You would never do it?
Never. It was 100% confirmed. The chaos that was just 3 days prior to New Year's. I was there on the 29th, I think it was. And I was like, yeah, you couldn't pay me to be down here during New Year's Eve. Like, so they were setting it up. They're getting all the different things together. And like,
Yep.
I watched it all. And Fountain Blue was everywhere. I mean, I don't know how much money the Fountain Blue spent on marketing, but they were everywhere on Times Square days before Times Square. They were before the ball dropped. Fountain Blue was everywhere for
Really?
Vegas. Yeah, they designed the ball. The ball was made of crystals that were all bow ties, which is the Fountain Blue's signature logo, which is all over the property.
Yep.
And so it was there. The guy, the CEO of the Fountain Blue, was the guy who hit the button that started the whole ball dropping thing. And
okay.
so, I mean, it was fun. I watched it. I was the only person that was up late at night. Everybody went to bed. Everybody was tired. We ate and drank starting at like 4:00, watched both football games, and had I had so much. I was like, give me all the seafood. Like, give me all of it.
Now that you were back there for a week, how do you feel about the East Coast time zone in sports?
How do you guys do it? How do you do it?
We haven't done it. We'll save it for show 500, which is Friday. That's Roll Call Friday. But put where you're watching the show from right now, just the city, because we got people back east. We got people in different countries that are way, way east. But you had to stay awake.
I literally at 5:15 on Monday and Thursday and on Sunday night, I literally was like, what do you guys do for 3 hours? What do you do for 3 hours waiting for this game? They're like, isn't it horrible? It's like, it's horrible. 5:15 kickoffs are brilliant. It's absolutely the perfect time to kick off from a TV watching perspective. Not going to the game, obviously.
5:15 Pacific.
Yeah, but 5:15 Eastern. I'm saying at 5:15 Eastern, I start looking at my phone going, I have 3 hours until kickoff.
Well, not for the Rose Bowl.
Well, not for that game, but for all the NFL games. For Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, all the NFL games are all being kicked off. And then the Texas game kicked off at 9. At 9. Like, it was I fell asleep in the third quarter of the Texas game.
Yeah.
And then I popped up and like my eyes popped open and I saw the end of it and watched the end of it and like whatnot. I was like, am I going to lose this bet? And then like, it was wild,
right?
To go back there and go, this was the norm. Like, I grew up like this. It's tough. It's really tough.
I put the first poll in the chat. We haven't done it for a while. See if you still got it. I just haven't done it for a while.
Well,
East Coast, Central, West Coast. 3 options. Best time zone for sports.
It's not even a question.
Well, we're out west, and we've lived it, and we know it, and we love it.
Are we just going to ignore mountain because no one lives in mountain time?
Listen, I love the mountain time zone and the people that live there and
But
watch the show.
we're kind of ignoring though, right? We're just going to ignore it.
Too many options.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, yeah.
If you live in the mountain and you like the mountain, vote for the Central. Okay, put it that way. But which time zone is the best time zone for sports? I don't think it's a question. I think West wins in a landslide.
Landslide. It's not even
a landslide.
The only reason why you'd vote for East Coast is if you literally are biased to that level that you think that everything's greatest on the East Coast. That's the only way, because there's no other way you can describe it. Because and I get it. I get this argument a lot from my family. Like, well, what do you do like when the Patriots play at 1 p.m.? Like, you like 10 a.m. kickoffs?
Amen.
Like, yes.
I
love it. I love it. Are you kidding me? I love it. Not like, I love. Like, yeah, but like, what about like the noon Big Ten games? 9 a.m. It's beautiful.
Hey.
It's awesome. I think it's tremendous.
The best.
Like, well, yeah, but you can't like drink. You can't. I go, I don't drink anyway like that. I don't miss not being able to drink alcohol at 9 o'clock in the morning. And if I did, it's a Bloody Mary and watch the game. You can handle it.
Boys, yeah, the chat's flowing right now. This was a good question, right, to start off the new year, right? Skip DeFabry voted for Mountain. Hi, Skip. Joe the Fat Panda voted for Mountain. You can put your reason why in the chat, but
Central's better than Mountain. I'll give people in the Central time zone. I lived it. I lived in the Central time zone for 7 years. Alabama was East Coast, I believe. I think Alabama's Eastern time. Like, yeah, I'm pretty confident Alabama's Eastern time zone. I always forget that, whether it was Central or Eastern.
You lived there how long, and you don't know what time zone?
5 years. I can't remember because I'm 46 now. I've been in Vegas for now 8 years, and this, my anniversary was January. This is my anniversary. I moved here January of 2015, so now it's January of 2024. I've officially lived here. This is the second longest place I've ever lived in my life. 1 is Massachusetts, and 2 is Nevada. Which, if you had that parlay, congratulations, because I never in a million years would have bet that in my life that those would be the 2 places that I would spend the most time.
What are they again?
Massachusetts I lived in Mass for 21 years.
Okay, well, that's where you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
What are the 2 places you lived that longest, not where you grew up?
Well, Nevada's 1.
Okay.
It's the longest.
And Bama.
And then, Omaha was longer.
Okay.
Omaha was 5.
Okay.
So Nebraska and Nevada are the 2 states I lived, but the 2 states I've lived in totality.
That's a hell of a parlay for a kid from Amherst, Massachusetts.
Right. I'm not from Andover. Went to school at Amherst.
Oh, that's right. It's been a week since I seen you.
UMass Amherst is where I went to school, but Andover, that's where I was and where I grew up. But it's I don't know. I love home. I love Boston. I love New York. You guys can take the attitude and you guys can keep it, because you just don't understand it. You don't see it until you're immersed in it for a really long time. And when you're there for 9 days, it's just this like, I'm more important than everybody else. And so get the hell out of my way.
Yeah.
At every turn, on every level, even at the holidays.
Are you talking to media space or just life every day?
Into my life. Like, there was this guy. Yeah. This woman was letting a guy and his 3 dogs walk across the street. She stopped to let the guy, clearly could see the guy with the 3 dogs walking across the street. And this dude got on his horn and was leaning on his horn in my town, which is like a quiet residential place, leaning on his horn to make this woman move. And I was like, if that's not East Coast, I don't know what is. Like, do you want her to kill the guy and the dogs? Because the guy's in the road. Like, get out of my way. I get to do, I'm more important than you type stuff. I'm happy to be back. Although here, people are January in Vegas is weird. Everyone's hungover. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone's grumpy because it's so cold.
I don't think the weather has anything to do with it. I think it's a weird time just in general.
Okay.
People are being reduced hours.
Right.
People, like, a lot of things happen after New Year's.
Yeah.
They work you, and then they tell you need an early out. It's slow. There's a show, CES, but other than that, there's not much going on.
Right.
They're ramping up for the Super Bowl, which is going to be a fun week, but they're doing the Vegas thing. I mean, they're shutting walkways down. We'll get to that later. They're charging an arm and a leg for regular services that are, a bottle of water's $10 on the strip right now. People are getting pissed off about a lot of things.
Thunder D said West Coast. This is coming from a guy who was raised on the East Coast.
Oh,
I agree. I'm the same way, Thunder. I'm the same way. All right. Lots to get to as to what happened while we were off. You missed, 7 shows? So there's a lot of things to catch up on. Let's start with Michigan beating Alabama in the college football semifinals in overtime. Just from an overview perspective, were you surprised that Michigan won?
I was surprised Michigan won up till Michigan winning, but I wasn't surprised pregame because I liked Michigan.
Right.
If you go back and, watch the show that we did here and then later on Sports Grid, we talked about this game extensively. The books needed Michigan huge. And then the day of the game, the Michigan money came.
Yeah.
And they went in with them, moved it to 2.5. I don't know. That was a hell of a game. I've been to the Rose Bowl multiple times. It's an unbelievable venue. It's old as could be. The walkways are narrow. Like I took Jess one year and she said she'll never go back because it's not convenient at all.
Okay.
Like parking and getting in and out. But the game lived up to the billing, did it not?
Oh, the game was tremendous. What do you make of the play call? In overtime, 4th and goal, running a QB sneak right into the offensive line with no option to pass. It was run all the way.
It was, I saw Orlovsky break it down. It was 1, maybe 2 inches away from being a walk-in. Started with a low snap, which caused a step back, which caused a timing delay. And then the other thing was that the guard got blown up, blasted through, which caused him to have to not go straight, but a little bit to the left. And he got tackled. Now, watching it live, I jumped off the couch and went, a QB draw? Right? Like that's what I did. What did you do when you were watching it?
I was furious. And I mean, look, I'm sitting pretty with a 10-1 ticket on Michigan to win it all. So I bet Alabama at plus 1.5 right when the line came out and just sat there with, I bet 2 units back on Bama. So I didn't care who won the game, but I was really surprised that they didn't give Milroe the option that if the play didn't work, that there was somebody, a pass pattern, something to throw the football, that it was just that committed to running the ball against Michigan's defensive line, which is their strength. And I was surprised that they did not do something on the misdirection to get him on the edge for a run pass option, given his athletic ability and to beat guys to the pylon. I was surprised they went right into the teeth of the defense.
Yeah. Listen, you got one play. It's down to one play.
But shouldn't it be your best play?
If the guard don't get blown up, he probably walks into the end zone. I don't know. Well, first of all, Emerson's out walking the dogs, listening to the show, participating in the chat. Thank you, E.
Man.
I'll talk to you after the show. Stay warm.
Yeah.
I can't believe you're wearing a Buffalo Bills beanie.
Awesome.
And the chat is going crazy. They want more Emerson and other paraphernalia. I'm just saying.
Okay.
The high heels that the dog ate, put those on.
Oh, okay.
Those might work. Michigan was the better team throughout the game, weren't they?
Except for their special teams blunders.
Other than that, Michigan looked like the better team. There was a lot of questions going into the game. Why is Michigan favored? I think they got it right.
I would agree. No, I think they got it right. I mean,
results notwithstanding, if you watch the game, Michigan was the right side of that game.
100%. No, I agree. I mean, if it wasn't for those blunders, that game might have been more lopsided than it finished. The one thing that I am really curious about, and the one thing that I think comes out of this game is that Nick Saban has now gone 3 years without winning a national championship, and he's gone back to 2017 was the last time he won a legitimate national championship, because the COVID championships are bogus. So, Lakers bogus, Dodgers bogus, and Bama's bogus to a point. Just because it was a COVID year, it was very, very different than what we have seen. So to me, I look at his future, and Paul Feinbaum's been on the forefront of this, talking about how much Nick Saban hates the transfer portal, how much he hates NIL, and how much he does not want to be having to be a used car salesman out there. I'll give you $5 million, I'll give you $10 million, whatever it is, to get the top level quarterback to come in. That it's a very entitled group of the 5 stars that used to go to Bama because it was an automatic first round ticket, $1 million contract to go to Bama. Well, now it's, I don't need to go to Bama. I can go to Texas or somewhere else, and I can get more money. If you aren't going to pay me, Nick, I don't really need to play for championships. I'm in it for myself and my family right now. So that world could push Nick Saban out the door. Like, there are people in Tuscaloosa who are nervous, according to Paul Feinbaum, that may have been the last game that Nick Saban coaches.
Ever?
In college football, yes.
You think there's legs to that?
Feinbaum would know. Yeah. If anybody's going to report that, if anyone's going to know on that, it's Feinbaum. He spent the vast majority of his career covering Alabama in Birmingham. So if anyone's going to know what's happening inside Tuscaloosa and the nervousness going on in T-Town, it would be Paul on this. And I believe him. I think there are, look at what we have seen just recently in the transfer portal. Cam Ward, the kid from Washington State, did this whole whirlwind tour, was flown all over the country, wined and dined, offered, and then he declared for the pros. Right. All these teams were lining up like, oh, we're going to get Cam Ward. We need Cam Ward. And then he's like, yeah, I'm going out. Bye. Like, if you're a team, you have to wait for that, because if he goes to you, that changes your whole calculus for your roster. And now he doesn't go to you, and now you got to go to plan B, and you got to figure out what to do next. And now you're behind the 8 ball because other teams, other quarterbacks have been gobbled up. So some coaches are really not feeling this. They don't like this at all. Nick hated the NFL. He loved college for the control. It must feel like the NFL all over again.
It obviously does, but so he's ready. You think he's ready to be done coaching?
What's left?
He would actually go to the NFL.
No, I think he's retiring. Okay. Nick Saban will be done. No, Nick Saban's what, like 66, 67? Nick's done. Nick's not coaching.
Put it in the chat, boys. How old is Nick Saban?
Yeah, he's done. He has nothing more to play for. He's the greatest coach of all time. Like, period. He's the greatest college coach of all time. There's nothing more to prove. The new SEC, Big 12, Big 10 probably doesn't really excite him all that much. Like, Nick, you want to go play a regular season game in LA? That sounds like fun. Do you want to go out to Los Angeles? Do you want to play against, USC? I don't know. It's I guess those Big 10 schools. Sorry. Texas and Oklahoma. Sorry. Flipping around, forgetting everyone's going where. Those are Big 10 schools.
What are you talking about?
Sorry. The Big 10 schools.
Them? Everybody's in the Big 10 now.
I know.
The championship.
But the Texas
Big 10 championship, by the
Oklahoma, you can go play them.
Yeah.
Florida State wants in the SEC. I don't know. It's such a, watching college football during the bowl games has been
72, by the way.
Wow, he's older than I thought. Okay, same age as Bill. I didn't realize that him and Belichick are the same age. Thought he was a little bit younger. Watching the college bowl games, my main takeaway is fucking kill them all. Like, kill them all. They all suck. They're all just kill them all.
Sorry, Will. That's our first one of 2024, and I was a favorite to say it first, and Perrault beat me to it.
Goodbye. Kill them all. I'm done. The playoffs are going to completely make the bowl games irrelevant. Kids don't want to play.
Multiple people while you were gone, and I was on shows and talking to people, and I kept saying this, and they were like, "Dave, what are you talking about? The bowl games?" I said, "It's exhibition games.
Yep,
guys aren't playing. Guys, the The moves are all wrong with the line movement. What are the content people going to do? Because you could just say, well, the line moved from 3 to 6. That got to be the right side. It's the wrong side. Wrong. But the games, the product, it goes back to the way it was as far as anyone caring about the bowl games. I went at Penn State. I went to the Holiday Bowl. I went to the Fiesta Bowl. I went to the Rose Bowl. Rose Bowl, they were number 2 in the country in 1993, 94, 95, whatever it was. And they should have won a national championship over Nebraska. I'm still pissed about that. But those games didn't mean nothing except to the 2 schools that were in it.
But I'm okay
now
with
it don't
that.
even mean it to that.
It doesn't mean to them. I'm okay with that. I like that. My problem is you watch Alabama, Michigan, and you watch Washington, Texas, and you watch the way the game was played and the level the game was played at, and then you go watch Georgia, Florida State, and you tell me.
Well, that's a bad example because
why?
Nobody played for Florida State. They all said the hell with this.
Correct. They all said so that's going to happen more and more because we're going to go to 12 teams.
Oh, the bowl games, the playoffs are going to be
important.
They're going to be
awesome.
They're going to be meaningful games.
They're going to be unbelievable. And then we're going to compare the playoff games to the bowl games. And we're going to say, why are we playing these games? This is dumb. Unless you incentivize with money to pay the kids who are on the winning team. That's one way of doing it. You incentivize them, say, hey, the winning team gets $500,000.
Why not move the transfer thing until after?
Because people don't use their brains. Like, it's the dumbest thing in the world.
Isn't that the easiest thing to do? Just say you can't transfer until January 2nd.
Yeah, because the coaches want to raid right now because they have open recruiting time. They want to raid during December.
They're not playing, right?
They want to be able to go out and take shots at kids and know, okay, am I getting this freshman or that junior? Which one? That's why the coaches want it the way they want it. They've built this system. Like, you've made your bed, lie in it. All of you in college football. Like, I find it so amazing, and I'm not trying to take a shot at Iowa here or Kirk Ferentz, but it's incredible to me that they would sit up there. Do you see the press conference before the bowl game?
No.
Okay. So Kirk Ferentz and Josh Heupel stood up there and gave a pre-bowl game. I don't know if Brommelkamp might have been there, but they gave a pre-kickoff press conference in which they didn't talk about the game. They talked about adults who have ruined the game. And then Iowa goes out and lays a stinking pile of cow manure.
0.
And they get blanked.
0.
Blanked.
Zip.
35-0.
Zilch.
Because Kirk Ferentz needs to keep his kid employed. And so his kid, who I don't know has ever coached. I mean, has he ever coached offense well? I don't know. But you had a month to prepare for Tennessee, and you got shut out.
0.
So who's wrecking college football again exactly?
Game stayed under, though.
But I was on 36 under. I was lucky.
Ooh, that was a sweat.
I wrote it off. I go, I lost. I was at the show. I was like, that's a loss. And then I looked down and I go, 35-0. Oh my God, how'd that happen? You couldn't score? So, like, the disingenuous, the people, the sanctimonious bullshit that's out there from these coaches who want to stand up there and talk about, this person or that, adults are destroying sports or destroying college football. You're part of it, man. You're the highest paid person in the state of Iowa. You're the highest paid state employee. In your team every year, you're 8-4 Ferentz.
Right.
And they let you keep going, and Iowa fans are stuck with you because they're too afraid of what might happen next. Because Iowa people love them to death, okay, but salt of the earth people, but generally speaking, they'd rather sleep with the devil than the one they don't know. And so they're comfortable hanging out with Ferentz because they're so afraid of what happens afterwards, of what happens if they go and get Ferentz. So they're stuck with 8-4 Ferentz, who's going to keep his kid employed.
He went 10-2. You can take away.
He's 8-4 Ferentz every year. He won 10-2 this year somehow, some way, because the Big Ten's pathetic, and he will.
How did that team win 10 games?
They will not win 10 games next year. Not with the way they're playing right now. No way, no how. Not with the schedule they got coming in. Not with the teams joining. No way.
The unders went 10-2 though.
It's unbelievable.
With the bowl game 10-3.
How do you get smoked like that? How do you look like that? Even your defense, you can say, "Oh, Cooper DeJean didn't play," and blah blah. Even your defense got waxed. A freshman, a true freshman quarterback, did that to you. Like, what the hell are we doing? But that's the bowl games. Like, you don't know.
You didn't like the Pop-Tart Bowl?
I thought it was fun because you could eat the mascot. That was cool. But other than that, that's
The
it.
Pop-Tart Bowl, like,
Had some juice.
I showed Kendall, and she was like, "That's a little cringe." It's weird because she still eats Pop-Tarts, you know?
Ah.
She's
Do
not.
you
and
put
she's like,
butter? Does she put butter on Pop-Tarts?
Never. I don't
This
know.
is
what the hell.
nasty. What the hell's going on with this?
I don't know. Mitch Moss from VSiN
Well,
did this video, and
We
he
got
has
it from
this
we got it
fancy
from the game
toaster.
on the broadcast. We got it from the play-by-play guy. Said I eat Pop-Tarts with butter on it, and everybody was like, "You do what?"
Yeah, why?
Like, it's straight
The
sugar.
Pop-Tart is enough.
Yeah, it's sugar on sugar on
Like,
sugar, and you're going to add
yeah.
fat. Like, you need more fat to the sugar to make it. Like, what's the point of that? Like, you're making
Come
it
on.
even worse. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So I am out on the bowl games. I am not interested. I am all in on the playoff. Let's go to 12 teams. Let's expand this thing. Let's get rid of the bowl games. I mean, let's do a FCS style. Let's do a 32 team playoff. Let's go. I'm
32.
Yep.
What the hell's wrong with you?
why the FCS been doing it for years.
I know, but
Why can't we do that? Kill the bowl games. Get rid of them. They're dumb. They're done. No one cares.
32 teams
Sure.
are going to make the playoff.
Sure. FCS has been doing it for years with no
disparity,
problem.
The first round games are going to be mostly crap.
Probably so, but maybe not. Maybe
32 is too
Heck,
many. You can't
Dave,
do
I
that.
watched my school, UMass, win the national championship by going on the road and beating teams they shouldn't have beaten. It's an insane run. 1998. Look it up. UMass had no business. Mark Whipple, guy from your neck of the woods in Pittsburgh, took UMass to the national championship game. I called the semifinal game. I mean, it can happen. You can do it if you want to do it. You just got to get rid of the bowl games. Now, most likely that'll never happen, but going to 12 will lead to 16. And we go to 16. The next step is 32. So it's not impossible to get there one day, but the bowl games, the gig
bowl
is
games
up.
are important TV shows, Perrault. This is
They are
something
important,
that
but you know what's more important? Playoff games. Playoff games will be bigger rated. More people will watch a playoff game
there'll be
than
less
they
of
will.
them.
There'll be less of them.
So
That's
you can't
fine.
Get all like I saw
Fair.
Joe Pompliano put it out the tweet and Furman commented on it. So that's how I saw it. But the most watched sporting events in December
Uh-huh.
were some of the worst bowl games that we've ever seen.
Because
They
of the
were
brands.
more
that were
watched
there.
than
Yeah,
NBA.
'cause they were there.
More watched than
Football is
NHL.
always going to beat basketball. That's not even, I mean, a bowl game's always going to beat a regular season NBA game or a regular season hockey game. A bowl game will always beat, but a playoff game will beat that bowl game.
Oh, the
People will
playoff
watch
games
that
are
play
great. Yeah, I mean,
because
we
they
got-
care. The guys will buy in. Like the more we go through a couple of iterations like this of bowl season like this is the first time we're seeing this really this bad. Talk to me in a couple of years. People are going to be furious about this. They're not going to pay attention to it. They're going to be like, you know what? Forget it. I'm done. I don't want to watch this. This is not my team. This is not the team. And you could say, well, then you've killed the bowl games. Okay. Yes, we've killed the bowl games. I'm okay with that. There's no more tradition. For a long time, the Big Ten and the Pac-12, they were the guardians of the Rose Bowl. And they
Right.
put their, they came down with their stakes and they're like, we are not moving anything. The Big Ten and the Pac-12, we play for the title, period. Jim Delaney, remember him? He was the barrier to a playoff. He refused to allow it until it finally got to the point where there was so much money that he couldn't say no.
Mm.
And now we have a playoff. And now we're going to have 12 teams. And after 12, we'll have 16 because 12 is stupid. And people are going to complain about who gets a bye, who is in, who is not. Do we get automatic qualifiers? Does the Pac-12 deserve it when they go back to a full roster of teams? Do they deserve an automatic bid in? Debates aren't going anywhere. The debates are just going to pivot to be different on this. So the second game,
Yeah.
Washington and Texas. I don't know what Washington was doing, but they almost blew their shot at a national championship at the end
Right.
against Texas. I mean, Texas had a pass in the end zone to win the game. It did
Yeah.
not come through. Did you learn anything about Washington in this game?
Not anything that I didn't already know. Penix has been great all season. Washington has been very competitive all season. Odds makers make them dogs all the time. All they do is win these games. They've won every game. They've earned their spot. That was what my takeaway. Penix was throwing passes like literally, it might as well. The windows were so small, and you couldn't have handed the ball to the receivers downfield more than what he was doing. It was so impressive.
Yeah.
Um,
Would you take him on the Steelers?
I honestly don't know what kind of pro he's going to make because I don't know. My big thing with the quarterbacks is you have to be able to get hit in the mouth and have these monsters fall on you and get up and do it again and again and again. And I don't know. I really don't know if he's going to be able to withstand the punishment that
I
it
agree.
takes.
I love him. I think he's great, but
He's awesome.
He's going to be 24 years old with a pretty good injury history of ankle and shoulder trouble. It's why he's still in college. It's why in Indiana he didn't live up to the full potential because he was banged up all the time. Yeah, I think he's great, but I don't know. Where are you in the game? We'll break it down heavily, obviously, on Monday and all week, but
yeah.
I know everyone's going to say this is Washington's time, but I think this is when the rubber meets the road for them. I think the mistakes are going to catch up to them here against Michigan. I might take the points, but I don't think Washington's going to beat Michigan.
First thought is Michigan. Really? But
to cover or just win?
I don't know if the point spread's going to come into play.
Because if Michigan cleans up the special teams problems that they had against Alabama and they play a similar game to what they played against Alabama without the mistakes, the only way Washington, I think, is in this game is if Michigan does what they did against Alabama. Special teams gaffes, just dumb mistakes, things that you can't, miss kicks and whatnot, things that just cannot happen in a national championship game. If Michigan plays a clean game, I believe Michigan will win.
I think it comes down to if Michigan can pressure him enough to constantly keep him off of timing. Because I think if they won, I think Michigan's going to be able to run the ball. I don't think there's a question of that. I think Corum and them are going to. I think they're going to be able to run the football.
Interesting. Washington's rush defense is pretty good.
I know
on paper, but
I think Michigan will be able to run the ball. First thought.
Okay.
So Washington's they're going to have to play that game, where they're going to have to score and trade scores until the mistake comes, and Washington can get ahead. I don't know if they can keep doing that enough. They drive, stall. I feel like Michigan's going to score. I feel like Michigan's going to possess the ball a lot.
See, to me, this goes back to the handicap that I did on the show in August. The reason why I bet Michigan to win the national championship is because their offensive and defensive lines are old, experienced, and nasty.
Yep.
It's why they're in this game. Their offensive and defensive line have led them to this place, to the national championship. And even with their best offensive lineman being out, they still dominated against Alabama. They still controlled the line of scrimmage. And I think they're going to do so even more against Washington. And while the quick strike, big play offense is going to be there, Michigan's secondary is good. You got to be, I don't think we're going to see what Texas gave up. I don't think you're going to see guys running around wide open all throughout the secondary. There will be a couple big plays for sure. They'll hit on it. The receiving core for Washington is tremendous.
They're great.
And you put that receiving core up with a quarterback who throws on time, and they're deadly. But I think you're right. Michigan plays ball control. And this just plays into Harbaugh. This is Harbaugh football 101. You're not going to keep the football. You're going to get the ball. I'm going to grind 8-minute drives and score. And I'm going to be up 14-0, and you're going to be panicking, trying to play catch up and score quickly, and then the mistake happens.
Every time I've been a dog under this guy, Washington, they've won.
They have. I agree.
In these big games, it's just
every game. Every game
right,
they've been under.
Oregon,
but is
Texas.
This? Do you think these are the two best teams in college football
right now?
No, in general. Are these the two best teams in college football?
I don't think it's a question. You?
I think it's a question about Washington still. Yes.
What's the question? Who's better?
I look, I think they play in a conference that gives them a chance to win and not be as banged up as other conferences. I mean, the Oregon game was super impressive.
Georgia should be is
No.
better?
I don't necessarily think it's Georgia. I think like a healthy Florida State. I wonder, there's a different.
Throw that out.
It doesn't matter. I mean, we're here with 2 undefeated teams, but I asked this question before the game. I said, is it if it's Michigan and Washington, which I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Going into the game, I was like, I think it's on the morning of the day. I said, oh my God, it's Michigan, Washington. That's what's going to happen. I was like, this is crazy, but that's what's going to happen. And I had taken +4 on Washington, and I came back and bet a little bit on the money line, going like just in case, and then watched the game. And I was like, I fell asleep during the game. They're up by 14. I woke up and they almost lost. I was like, how the hell did that happen? But I look at Washington and I'm like, man, I love Penix. I like their defense. It's underrated, but I've seen better teams this year in college football. Like I've seen teams that have more weapons, who don't make the mistakes.
They won every game. What more do they got to do?
It's their conference. They played everybody that's in front of them, but this is why they're dogs. They're dogs because Michigan has gone through a tougher schedule. Michigan has looked like the tougher
Michigan's schedule is caca. What are you talking about?
Ohio State, Alabama. Ohio State, Alabama are 2 wins. And
look at the other 10 games. It's trash.
I put those 2
wins.
Was
bad, and I'm a Big Ten guy.
I put those wins over.
Games.
Okay, I mean Oregon's the only win that I really look at, and they did it twice, and they almost lost the first one. And on neutral field, they killed Oregon. But how much of that was on what Oregon looked like that day versus Washington? I'm just saying this is why we have to have the playoff. We have to have playoffs because this is the testimonial for playoff football, because it doesn't matter what people think or what your eyes tell you. All that matters is they've played every game on their schedule and they have yet to lose. They have earned their right to be exactly where they are. So we shouldn't ever be talking about their schedule or who they beat or what they look like. They played who they played and they won them all. Right. And they have a chance to go win the national championship with the exact same thing of like, no one's thinking we're good enough, and we go and do it, which is why the 12 to 16 to 32 playoff expansion has to happen. So we're not arguing about whether their schedule is good enough or not. They just beat everybody.
They did just beat Texas, who beat Bama.
Yeah, fine. But I hate that game, though, because they beat Alabama in September. It was different. It was a different Jalen Milroe. It was a different team. Like they
won the game.
They did, but it's a whole different season. Like fair, but it's a whole different season. And they were 1 play from losing that game. They're 1 play from getting completely punked and blowing their shot at a national championship game appearance.
I don't know. I give Washington 100% full credit. I'm impressed. I think they are the 2 best teams. We can only hope as college football fans that the last game of the year lives up to the billing that those 2 games did. I thought those 2 games were entertaining. I was riveted. I was alone watching the games because, I did get some of them watch the Rose Bowl for a little while with me. But the games are too long. There's too many commercials. I don't want to sound like the old guy in the cloud yelling, but no,
I'm good with the game.
It takes forever.
So
the games take 4-hour affairs.
They do, but I'm fine with it. I mean, they're long, but I'm good.
Put it in the chat. Michigan or Washington? Just the money line.
I'm very concerned about a blowout.
Oh, like last year.
Michigan's going to house them. I'm really concerned that Michigan's going to take them apart.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel good about Washington on a short week up against Michigan.
It's not a short week. They got a whole week of prep.
Yeah, but instead of having a month to prep like they did for Texas, they have a week.
Well,
it's a short period.
Same order of business. Shorter. I don't know if Michigan's seen an offense like Washington's all season. Not Ohio State. Ohio State's offense not as good as Washington.
No, not close.
Bama's offense could be comparable, but not as good as Washington.
Better running attack, but not a better passing attack.
Not, right? Like, so,
have they seen an offense as good as Washington? But I'll flip it around. Has Washington seen a defense?
An offense that runs the ball like Michigan? No.
No. Has Washington seen a defense as well as Michigan?
Has Washington seen? I don't know. Oregon's pretty damn good.
They are, but they weren't
Twice
in the championship game.
and
They
a
were.
neutral. Twice they had to beat Oregon.
Conference team, a little different, but yeah, I mean,
You know,
I don't know. I think Michigan's pass rush is going to be the difference in the game, and I think Penix might be running for his
put
life.
up a poll so we can see the votes. Michigan or Washington? Just win. No, just who wins the game. I'm curious because I think it'll be a slight favorite. I don't think it'll be an overwhelming favorite with Michigan. I think we'll get pretty split votes.
Oh, I think in terms of just straight up, I think we're going to see a heavy Michigan straight up.
I don't think.
I mean, packed again. In someone's in the chat saying, "I thought
This
Oregon
is a Big Ten game now." By the way,
right?
It's a Big Ten conference
So
game.
weird, but
How weird is that?
Someone in the chat
no
saying
more Pac-12. Let's take.
it's still here. Hold on,
30
it's still here.
seconds.
It's still here until college basketball's over.
There's
it's still
no
here.
more Pac-12
Football,
college football.
get right, yeah, football.
No
But basketball's here. I mean, the championship game, tournament is here in Vegas.
What? Well, and it's a swan song. It's it.
Yeah,
It's a
that's it.
lame duck. It's
Yep.
done. I cannot believe there's no more Pac-12.
I think the
It
baseball.
really
I think the
is pissing me
Pac-12.
off.
The Pac-12 baseball tournament, I think, is the last official Pac-12 tournament.
Yeah, well, I love the Pac-12 just in general with a lot of the different sports.
Yeah.
The Pac-12 softball has been amazing. I mean, we've
Stinks.
been to. We got to go to the kids. Kylie's not even going to be here. She's gonna be back in New Jersey. I feel bad. I want to take her to a UCLA softball game.
Right.
Pac-12 game. And I guess after she's done playing, maybe we'll get to go or
Rutgers,
something like
right?
that. But
Have a Big Ten game. Take it to Rutgers. UCLA Rutgers.
how weird is that? She'll be able to go. It's
Yeah.
right down the street. Oh my gosh.
Right.
I don't like it. But yes, this is a Big Ten championship matchup in the championship game. It's weird, man. I don't know. Early votes are coming in. Let's see.
Slight Michigan.
55%, 45% in favor of Michigan.
And look, LL is right. I did talk about about Oregon beating Washington in the Pac-12. I did. I thought Oregon was going to kill them. I really did. And I have been wrong on Washington a ton. And I will be betting Washington. I mean, I'm going to take the points most likely. I don't know by how many I'll take the points, but I have
Do you remember that night when we were sitting at dinner, you and I, while the kids were upstairs bowling at the Suncoast, when we were we were watching a Florida State game,
right?
And we were going,
yeah,
are they going to get in or are they not going to get in? And I went on the app and I bet Michigan to win it all. I bet Bama to win it all. I bet Texas to win it all. And I bet Washington to win it all. I bet the 4 teams that I thought were going to be in the playoff.
Right.
I forgot about those. They go in the pending and on the app. And so I got in the app to bet the Penn State Ole Miss game.
Oh, okay.
Bowl game. And I'm like, wait, pending. What are all these pending bets? I totally forgot about them.
Yeah.
So I was like, hell yeah. I got I'm gonna have action all the way to the end. So I was
and
excited. Washington, my ticket is 7-1.
That's good. I hedged.
Great.
I hedged on my 10-1, gave 2 units back on Alabama. So I have an 8-1 ticket on Michigan. And I'll probably come in with, 1 or 2 on the points, and hopefully Michigan wins by 3.
Yeah.
And then I win them both.
Well, the line's going up. I mean, the opening number, as the game was ending and the East Coast was long asleep, books were putting up the number. The West Coast books put up 3.5. The East Coast books put up 4.5. It gravitated towards that number. One of the two, whether it was Circa or Westgate, I can't remember, went to 5 and immediately got grabbed. So I think we're going to sit. I thought it might creep up even higher because of the Washington injury.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that kid's going to play or not. So I don't know. I mean, I was looking at a trip to Houston.
I may alt line it. I mean, I'm serious. I may take 7.
It's very expensive to go to Houston.
Not right now. It's not. The ticket prices have, according to Darren Rovell, the single biggest one-day crash he's ever seen for tickets.
Airline tickets?
No, national championship game tickets.
Oh, yeah, the tickets to the game. I'm talking about it's expensive to fly there right now. They know they're coming. Because I looked for us. I was like, you know what?
You can fly day
Maybe
of.
We'll go.
You can fly day of. You can buy tickets day before, fly the next day. Probably be pretty cheap. People aren't going to go. I mean, this is not a hot ticket. This is not a tremendous amount of people, everybody in Houston, everybody in Austin, everybody in Dallas are all selling their tickets. Hotel rooms are widely available throughout the entire city.
Oh, because they were hoping it was Texas.
Oh, yeah. This was Texas. This was $4,000 get-in price. This was going to be huge.
Oh.
All Longhorn fans gobbled up every ticket and they gobbled up every hotel room. And now they're laying them all back onto the market. There's a massive influx of tickets and hotel rooms and car rentals. And there's all you can, it's not, you can get it if you can drive there or fly there. If you can afford the flight, which is still expensive to fly in because this airline it's tough to fly right now. When you get there, it's not going to break you. It's not going to be extremely expensive to go to the championship game if you want to go.
Huh.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of Michigan people there. Michigan people are going to be – Washington's got a fan base because of Seattle, but Michigan people are both coasts. If you're a Michigan alum, this is a
the
huge
problem with the playoff, Perrault. They're going to have to if they start 1 through 16 and everybody plays 4 games to get to the championship.
Right.
That's 4 trips. Well, there'll be 1 home game.
No, there'll be 2 home games. The semifinal and final will be neutral. There'll be 2 home games. If you go to 16-team playoff, you'll play the majority of the games at home and home. Or
Whoa.
On home screen.
Yeah. Really? That's wow. Okay.
That's the benefit. That's what makes the college football regular season more relevant. Who gets to host a playoff game?
Interesting.
It's the NFL. It's the same. Why do we play
regular
season games in the NFL?
It's unbelievable.
You play for a 1 seed. You play.
A lot of guys are voting in the chat, which again we appreciate. There's a lot of people in there. Just got a huge influx of people. This is the noon Pacific, 3:00 Eastern. Something ends, and they show up and come here. Thank you guys for being here. If you got a Washington ticket live to win the championship, I see it flowing in the chat. Put the odds that you got it at. I see an 18-1. I see 10-1 tickets from JC from KC.
I mean, I've seen
30-1 has Washington at 18-1.
Yeah, I've seen 30. I've seen people post 30-1 tickets. I've seen people who have really, really good tickets on Washington. They have awesome hedge opportunities to come back and bet Michigan. Look, if Washington wins, it's awesome because it just completely crystallizes why we have to have the playoff and why it exists, and makes us next year makes it even better because we'll have more teams that aren't supposed to be there that could get hot with a hot quarterback, hot coach, and goes and wins championships when they aren't picked to do so. Great for betting. Great for us in the gambling space. Longer odds, big tickets, hedge opportunities. Perfect.
Is Harbaugh going to the pros?
If he wins the national championship, he will have done what he set out to do. And so I think it does give him a chance to ride off into the sunset. I think it's so interesting the number of people who are calling him a cheater and the cheating Michigan Wolverines and whatnot. I find it to be completely laughable that that's what people are trying to tag. If you hate Michigan and they win it all, I'm cheering for Washington. Why? Michigan cheats. What are you talking about? The story is just so done to me. It's never was a story. It's stupid. But I mean, if the NCAA is really going to come down hard, and if there's some type of, penalty on Michigan that they say either you leave or we're going to crush Michigan, maybe he will go. Chicago's got the number 1 pick in the draft. They got Justin Fields and they got money.
I heard Chargers.
See, I think it's I think Belichick's going there. I still think that's where Bill goes.
The other option that I heard for Harbaugh was New England.
I'd take him in 2 seconds. Let's go. Boston media will have they will bang their head against the wall trying to get that guy. I mean, they're used to it because Bill's the same way, but I mean, Harbaugh gets full control in New England. Okay. Where did Mayo play college football? I really want Gerard Mayo to stay to be the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. I would love for him to stay. He's done an incredible.
He said the Raiders. I don't think he's coming here. But I don't know.
I wouldn't put it past Mark. I wouldn't deny that. It's just I think Harbaugh will want to go to a place. The reason why I'd be worried about or doubting the Patriot rumor, I think he wants to go somewhere with a quarterback, which is Chicago and LA.
Well, Doesn't everybody want to go somewhere?
Yeah,
where
but
there's a
he can
quarterback?
pick though. But he can pick if you're picking between jobs, Patriots, Bears, Chargers. What's the best job of the three?
I mean, if you like Justin Herbert, I think it's easy. You go to the
Okay.
Chargers.
Or if you like Justin Fields, you like the Bears, who have the one pick.
The Bears are still not even sure they're going to keep this guy. Even the way he's playing, they're still not sure. I don't understand it.
Well, I agree.
What's this guy got to do?
I keep Fields and I use the draft pick to go get. I would trade down. I would get a Lions ransom. I'd go down to 3 and take Marvin Harrison Jr. if I was Chicago to give Justin Fields.
Mayo played at Tennessee, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dalbetz
That's right.
and
He
Skip
did.
DeFaber. You guys are awesome. I love this chat.
Would
You
Harbaugh
guys are like
keep,
executive producers of the show.
I don't know if Harbaugh would stay. Would keep Mayo. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Harbaugh's going to the Patriots. I'd love it. I'd be all in if he went to the Patriots. But I think there is a very real possibility that this will be the last game for Jim Harbaugh. Yes, I do think he could be going somewhere else.
So before we move on to the pros and all this stuff, this could be the last game that we've seen from Nick Saban and Jim Harbaugh in college coaching
Potential.
football.
Yeah. I mean, Jim's not done. Nick's done. That's it. Nick's out. So, yeah, Nick won't coach again, but Harbaugh will still keep going. He's too young, and I think he will have a pick if he wants to go out. It all comes down to whether or not Michigan is comfortable with the NCAA. Essentially, this is the worst case scenario for the Big Ten and the NCAA because they wanted Michigan. This guy was suspended for 6 games this year. 6
coaching in a championship. That's
6
great.
games. This is the biggest middle finger to everyone who's come after him. What? And just going like, huh, I get to do what I want. My team wins even without me here. My team has won every game we've
Great
played.
testimony to anything when you can do a job, have a job, and then you don't even have to be there, and it's still the culture's
Still
there.
steam.
It's
It still
great.
steamrolls. It still gets to where they don't want
Yeah.
you to get to. Even without you being there on the sidelines, you still get there. And it just comes down to whether or not if he wins it all, Michigan, he is, like a saint. He's cantonized. Everyone's going to be insanely in love with
How's he
Harbaugh.
leave? I mean, you win it all at Michigan, you leave?
Because if he says I'm doing because of the best interest of the program, and
they know it's coming. Something's coming.
If they're sitting over the top of you with a knife and they're gonna come down on you, and Harbaugh says, "Okay, I'll move. You win. I won the ring. I'm out." He did what he did. He'll be.
Pete Carroll left USC at the height of USC and went to Seattle. And I remember thinking, why did he do that? We
found out all the stuff, right? We found out Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and all the
first freeze of 2024. Snap your fingers.
So you have all those different.
Hold on. You froze. That was the first freeze of 2020.
No, So like Reggie Bush, all that stuff with Matt Leinart, all that stuff comes out.
Yes.
And Pete is now with the Seahawks going like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So the question would be, is there more to be uncovered that Harbaugh has been? Is there a smoking gun that ties Harbaugh to the sign stealing that could get him fired, sanctioned, whatever? And if there is, and he knows about it, win the championship. You are forever beloved. And whatever happens in the wake, no one cares. But you then go to the pros. You go back to the NFL, and you can go, I don't know.
The Bears aren't firing Eberflus. That's what the chat says, by the way. Who said that?
That's possible. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, look, the Bears are kind of like the Steelers in that way. They don't like firing coaches, and they want to give a guy, a lot of opportunity. But there are going to be Bill Belichick is going to be this gargoyle on the perch of a building, staring down at the NFL. If he is available.
I don't like those things. When I go to buildings that have gargoyles on it, I don't. I look at they freak me out. I don't like them at all.
And every job that's open and everybody on the coaching carousel is going to know that if Bill snaps his fingers and says, "I want that job," Bill gets that job. So I think if you are in line to go to the pros, you would be best to do it before the Patriots make their call with Belichick.
ATL Coos, thank you for saying that the Bears weren't firing Eberflus. Dave's Daily Picks
I
just
don't know if
came in the
that's true.
chat and said, what if we had a rivalry in the AFC North and Jim Harbaugh went to Pittsburgh?
Be awesome. Harbaugh, Ravens, Pittsburgh, be phenomenal.
Sibling rivalry.
Be great. Look, I don't think Tomlin's going anywhere. In particular, if he wins Saturday,
yeah,
he's not going anywhere.
Mm.
So, but it's just something to look at. So let's go to the pros here. And you're wearing the Dan Campbell stuff.
I am.
So there are billboards in Detroit that simply read, "He reported."
I thought he did, didn't you? Looked like he went over and I mean, they had a meeting. It was 3 guys there. So maybe it was confusing, but I don't know. Fat guy touchdown. Great call. Like a flag because he didn't report. I don't know, Perrault. I watched it. I watched it multiple times. I was in the book with the crew. I mean, it was a lot of money at stake there. There was a near riot in that sports book. There were fights at other sports books. Really? I went down to Circa on Sunday. The fights broke out in the sports book because the Detroit fans, people with money on it, were upset.
Who were they fighting? Cowboy fans?
Of course.
Really?
Cowboy fans sometimes. I mean, now they're the 2 seed. They're talking.
What do you make of the decision to go for 2 from the 7?
I understand you didn't get it the first time because of the penalty. You move it back, you line up and kick. No, I think you line up and kick. You get a gift on the second one, which did him no favors because now he's back on a 2 and they got to go for it again. I mean, I thought as soon as it was a penalty and a move it back, where's the field goal kicker? They're going to kick it. They're going to kick it, right? They're not kicking it.
So,
holy shit. That was a good one for you, Will. They're not kicking it.
I was stunned. So Jim Costa, who does mornings now on the Ticket in Detroit. So he's best friends with a former producer of mine. So I've known Jim for a while.
Okay.
Jim was in Grand Rapids and then moved. So this morning, Dan Campbell does his weekly hit with Jim Costa, and I apologize, I don't remember the name of his co-host.
Today.
Okay. But so Dan Campbell heard what Jim Costa said, in which he said it was basically a criminal offense, what Coach did.
A criminal offense for not kicking it?
Yeah. It was asinine.
Whoa.
It was criminal malpractice.
Whoa.
He had some really harsh things to say.
Sounded like lawyers speak.
And Dan Campbell said to him, "I'm on the radio. Say it to me like you mean it.
Say it with your chest, like
say it to me. Say it to me." And he said, "Yeah, I thought it was a really negligent decision on your part." And Dan Campbell goes, "All right, thank you." And then he wanted him to say what he had said, not to him on the phone, with him on the phone. And I was like, whoa. I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, that's a coach who's not going to let you off the hook. Like, if you're going to say those things, on the radio, you better say it to my face.
Say it. That's fine. Yes.
The audio's out there. If you go look at it, you can go search Dan Campbell and radio host Jim Costa this morning. But I listened to it. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. I was like, it's like that. Like, Dan Campbell, you're like, this is why people love this guy, because he's just complete and total go at all times.
Put it in the chat. Would you have kicked or not? Yes or no?
You have to.
You could just let them vote in the scroll, because we got a lot of Detroit people. I see JPC the fourth, clear checks in here.
58%, by the way, on Michigan to win.
58-41. That's going to be the way it's going to be bet. I think Washington may end up being a public dog by the time it gets to Monday, but I think that's the way it's going to be bet.
You can't be the thing you can't do. The thing that got to me was like, the first time you get it, it gets flagged. The second time you don't get it, you get a shot. You get another opportunity. The third time you have to kick that. Like,
I don't know why. So they win it. they win the tiebreaker, Philly loses. They're not even thinking about that Saturday night, right?
I know.
Like, so now you go from the 3 seed to the 2 seed. If you win a game, play for overtime. If you play for overtime and you lose, do you get grilled as
No.
bad?
No, because I think that's just one of those things where you're like, you know what, I lost. Like I played.
Daniel
the
G
odds.
just came in the chat. He's a Lions guy. He said they kicked it versus Seattle and they lost in overtime. Is that better than doing what they did?
It's not. I just think you can't. I felt like he said it this morning. He goes, I made up my decision. I told my guys, his quote was, I told my guys we were going for the win. And I wasn't going to back off of that no matter what happened. I don't really like that. I don't like a coach that is that hard line on stuff. Like, you got to recognize that each decision is its own decision. Each situation is its own situation versus I said what I said and we're doing it like a parent. Like, you can't be that rigid. You got to be more flexible. Like the first time, yeah, we're going for it. We got it. Ah, damn it. That's ridiculous. Second time, let's go. Ah, damn it. We didn't get it. Like, he was breaking it down on the call. He said, like, look at that. Jared Goff, it was like a split second, just a little bit off. Like, Jared Goff just missed where he was supposed to go with the football. And they could have gotten it on the third try.
Right.
I don't know. I on the third time, I kick. I go for overtime just given what had happened. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like you're splitting nines on the blackjack table.
You never split nines.
I know. That's what I mean. Like, you just, if you get it once, you get it twice, you don't do it again.
When it gets a 6, you split them 4, 5, or 6. That's it.
I don't know. It just feels like you were fortuitous. Like, you got 10-10. You were split nines. You got 10-10. And then it was a push, 19, against a 9 or whatever. And it comes up again. And then you split nines. You got 10-10. And then up against 9. And then the third time, you're like, do it again. And then you lose. And it's blackjack on the dealer's got blackjack, or 20. It's just, ace 9. Just feels like you had a chance to get out of that and you chose to keep going.
I really thought they were going to win the game. The way it was playing out, I really thought they were going to win the game. It just,
they dominated.
The possibility of Dallas out of it, please. The fact that
I bet over 28.5 team total in that game for the Cowboys. And when the first half touchdown fumble out of the end zone got taken off the board, I was like, okay, that's bet. Like, that's bet. There we go. I was like, you can't fumble a straight touchdown and you get no points on that drive. I was like, yeah, my team total's dead.
Right.
Like, okay, you watch something else. Like, that's bet. I was back and forth and going around. So that sucked. Your Steelers name Mason Rudolph the starter for the must-win game against a team that's going to be wearing Ravens uniforms, but not the Ravens. I don't really know what you call that team that the Ravens are going to put out there on the field.
Right.
Up on Saturday.
Yeah.
It won't be the Ravens.
Nope.
Be dressed like the Ravens. It will be announced like the Ravens, but that will not be the Ravens playing on Saturday.
No.
Are you guys going to choke? I asked this question on Twitter. I asked this question.
I saw the question.
So the Steelers going to choke.
The question on Twitter was bullshit. And you asking me that way that you asked me right now is bullshit too.
60%.
Welcome back to 2024.
60% of people said yes. Said your team's going to choke this 3.5 point line.
They're going to win and still not get in. This is the problem.
Well, but you have to win
problem.
first. First and foremost, like, forget
Saturday,
this is the first game.
game.
This is the first game of the week. Are you going to win the game? Yes or no?
Yeah, they're going to win the game.
Okay, because if you lose, it doesn't matter.
Right. They'll win the game. They won't cover.
I don't care. Just win.
Jacob, our friend of ours, used to work together with the props and all that stuff. He's a writer.
Yeah.
He put out a thing. I think it was yesterday or this morning. I was scrolling. I've been scrolling for I feel like 2 days.
Right.
Just trying to reconnect with people after really not doing anything for a while and being sick. The dog in this series is 12-0, the last 12 games.
Straight up or ATS?
ATS.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm fine with that. Win by 3.
Season wins is already decided. How
not
nice
for
is
me,
that?
though. Not for me.
What do you mean?
I made 2 bets on this. I got over 8.5.
Yeah.
I bet it again at 9.
Oh.
I have a bet live still in this game.
Oh, okay.
I bet 2 times.
Okay.
I like this bet so much. I bet it twice. I bet an alt. I bet a -110, and then I bet an alt. So at 9.
Okay. Well,
So it's a
you're
li-
going to have
it's-
to sweat that. This
It's
is gonna-
small
I
plus
mean, this
money.
is
It's
gonna
not a
be-
lot. I mean, I can't lose.
Right.
It's a
Right.
push. I can't lose,
Right.
so I'm good. But I want to know,
man.
can I win?
This just pointed out to me in the chat from both Daniel G and JPC the fourth that I forgot about. I had a note to mention it in the morning. The guys that did the game, the referee crew that did the Dallas and Detroit game,
Are doing your game.
did such a good job. They got assigned to a standalone national game on Saturday. No, not the Houston Indianapolis game.
They got the
The
assignment.
Pittsburgh Baltimore game.
They got the assignment. Make sure the Cowboys win. Make sure the Steelers win. They got the assignment.
Oh, here we go. This is what you're going to do right now.
Just saying.
Just saying what?
I think the league very much wants
Here
the
comes
Steelers.
the rigged people for us.
Oh, I'm kidding. But I think
The games are rigged.
I think the league would
Cowboys, they wanted them in. There it is.
yeah. Well, they're already in, but I think the league wants the Steelers in. It's better for business.
Yeah, I guess, but like, what are they going to do? Are they going to win a game if they get in?
All they care about is one. I mean, it's a standalone playoff game. It's a better deal to have the Steelers in than the Colts. Yeah, it's a bigger market, bigger brand, more eyeballs, more attention. It's better
Wow,
for
you've
business.
done it. We got a lot of people in Indiana to watch and like the show.
You want Gardner Minshew in the playoffs wearing a Colt
Gardner
uniform?
Minshew's a fun story.
No, he's not.
No?
No. That team's a wreck. Colts are fumbling their way. Them and the Jaguars. Which one? You want to watch Jaguars or the Colts in the playoffs?
Oh,
Enjoy that. Have fun.
Don't besmirch Emerson's team while he's not here. You got to come on the show.
Talk about dumpster fire. Jaguars are flaming dumpster fire.
They're playing Tennessee. Are they going to choke?
They might, yeah. It's really possible. I mean, I think the best story of the year is the Houston Texans. They win, they're in. They win, they're in. They won 3 games last year.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. D'Amico Ryan, coach of the year. CJ
Yeah.
Stroud, rookie of the year.
I think Stefanski's going to win it for Cleveland for the coach of the year, but this would be
That's dumb. Why?
second choice.
Because Joe Flacco's the quarterback? He had a much better roster than what the Texans had.
They won a lot of games, Perrault. Cleveland's in.
Cleveland's
They
in.
don't
But
need to win.
they didn't
In
win the
fact,
division.
Cleveland ain't playing nobody. Did you see that line?
They didn't win the division.
Against Cincinnati.
I know. But why is he coach of the year?
6-point dogs.
Why is Stefanski coach of the year over D'Amico Ryan? Someone's
Well,
going to
that's
explain
what
that to
people
me.
were voting for him. And
I
that's-
have no idea. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. You had a better roster. You had more expectations. They didn't win the division. Texas is going to win the division. 3 wins to win the division. If I'm voting, D'Amico Ryan is at a more impressive. His performance this year, more impressive. Rookie quarterback. He had Deshaun Watson. He had a $300 million quarterback to start the year.
Ironically, both of those teams had what's the quarterback's name that's not playing? Houston to Cleveland.
Deshaun Watson, correct. Yep. Both, yes. Tied
Deshaun
together.
Watson.
Cleveland and Houston, tied.
Both teams. He's not playing.
The further we get away from that story, the creepier that story gets to me.
Oh,
The further, like whenever somebody brings it up, like I was watching the game and we're watching the Browns, and like my brother made like a joke about Deshaun Watson and whatnot. I'm like, man, that is just it's like it's creepier and creepier the further away I get from that story. What the hell that guy did. And then like there's a girl like sitting next to him, like a girlfriend sitting next to him. I'm like, damn, like I know he's a really rich guy, but damn, like he did some really sick stuff to a lot of people, to a lot of women. And you're like voluntarily being like, yeah, I'm with this guy. Really? Like you're proud of that? Like, he's just, I have a hard time with Watson.
We got a couple more days to talk about it all. I think it's really wide open.
Texans are -1 on the road.
Yeah.
Road favorites. Colts have to win. They want any shot. They need help too. If they win, they're most likely in.
Houston needs help too.
No, they have a 99% chance if they win, they're in. Either be a wild card team or they'll win the division. They'll have 10 wins.
I don't know. This is a big step, right?
What's a big
Win the
step?
last game of the season on the road as a favorite to go to the playoffs. Are we ready to are they ready to win that game?
They better be. It's a big shot. Let's go through it, though. Let's talk about the playoff picture because there's some really interesting games to get into.
Man.
Ravens, 49ers are both 1 seeds.
Yes, they are.
Is this the Super Bowl?
I found the Niners stuff. I got the Niners, old school Niners. Is this a Super Bowl? This is the odds on Super Bowl.
Circa Sports, -110, both sides. Ravens, Niners, or the field?
Ravens, Niners versus the field.
-110, both sides.
Damn, that's incredible that that's the price.
Brent Benson booked that up. That's how lopsided that people think this is going to be. This is a walk. I realized I bet the Ravens to win the AFC, not the Super Bowl. So I need one win and that ticket's live. Ravens win 1 game and they're in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, okay.
11-1.
The road may be difficult.
For
The Ravens.
Disagree with that. No, I don't think so. I like the Ravens here more like the 49ers.
Cleveland, Buffalo,
Who?
Kansas City. I mean,
KC is a disaster.
yeah, probably.
Buffalo could lose on Sunday and not even be in. Buffalo might not even be in the playoffs.
So Ravens and Niners are the number 1 seeds. Is that the Super Bowl? Can they win sustaining an injury? I mean, Lamar goes down, ain't
They
winning.
already did. Mark Andrews is out. I mean, the Ravens already did.
Talking about the quarterback.
Oh, no, nobody can. No, yeah.
I think the Niners can.
You think who's the backup? Wait,
Sam Darnold.
It's Darnold. Darnold can disagree. That's why Purdy was the
We've
MVP.
seen backup quarterbacks win the Super Bowl.
I know, but Purdy's not hurt. So I mean, it's
no,
one.
But I'm just saying, at this point,
The game, the home game in the divisional round, I don't think will be that big of a test for either the Ravens or the 49ers. And then the championship game will be a test. It always is, but they'll be at home. And you're the 1 seed. It's such a gigantic advantage, in particular in a year in which it's wide open. Being the best team, playing the best football, and have a home game throughout for the 2 games you're going to play in the playoffs, plus the bye to rest. I mean, Run CMC's got a calf injury. They're not playing for 3 weeks. He's going to be fine.
right?
Like, they're going to be rested at this time of the year to get that type of time off. No one playing in week 18, no one playing in the wild card round, and then you play the divisional round. Like, it's such a monster advantage when you clinch this early and don't have to play anybody. Huge advantage for both these teams.
Now that there's only 1 bye, it's gigantic.
It's monster. So I think there's a real good shot. I would bet the yes at Circa for Ravens Niners. That's your championship Super Bowl here in town. Bills Dolphins. Winner gets the AFC East. Bills could be the 2 seed. Have you seen Josh Allen's record against the Bills?
Against the Dolphins.
Sorry, against the Dolphins, rather.
No.
Ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership. Like, he legitimately owns the Dolphins. He's only lost 1 time in Miami in his career.
How many games?
I think 5. I think he's 4-1 in Miami. I think he's 10-2 all time against the Dolphins.
Did I hear right? Chubb's not playing for Miami?
Correct. He blew ACL blown. He's done for the year. Chubb's done. There's monster injuries. Miami's got monster injuries all over.
There's a fire at Tyreek Hill's house too right now.
Is there really? Oh, God.
His house is burning down. What the hell's going on?
I'm going to say, put it this way. If that thing hasn't been lit, I'd be stunned. See how many, this is not relevant to the show, but see how many women he's having kids with this football season?
Who?
Tyreek Hill.
Didn't he just get married?
Yeah. He's having 4 kids with 4 women, I believe it is. This
What?
year. And got married. Yeah. Yeah. So that seems like when your house is on fire, call me a crazy ex-husband. But like I read that like that's somebody set that house on fire.
Whoa.
Just what wasn't it? Left Eye from Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls.
Salt and Pepper?
No, that's the same genre, same tour, different band. Chat, help me out on this. Left Eye from the rap group. Hold on.
The girl rap group?
Yeah, TLC. Thank you, Addison. TLC.
Thank you.
Andre Rison, remember that? She set Andre Rison's house on fire.
She did. And Andre was going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right. Yes. So
that's when they beat
Falcons.
They beat the Vikings.
She went to a mental institution for a little while for that. She didn't get sentenced to prison. She had to go away. She had to go to the nut house for a bit for that. So my gut tells me that if Tariq Hill's house is on fire, I have no evidence of this, but just my spider sense goes off and says, yeah, that was lit. That was not random. Somebody decided to do that. So the Dolphins are
gotta be careful the way you say that. The kids say everything's lit. No, that's lit. This is lit. Yes. The house is on fire.
Arson. It was arson.
We don't need no water. Let the mother burn. Yeah. Oh my God.
My guess is Tariq Hill's on fire because somebody intentionally lit it on fire. Would be my gut on that. So we'll keep us
lighting your Dolphins tickets on fire. That's it. They're done. Dolphins can't win.
I think they're in real trouble. I think Baltimore. I think the Bills are winning. The Bills are advancing. The Bills are in, and the Bills are going to be a 2 seed. Can the Bills win at Baltimore? Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, they can go. I mean, it's not. Don't bet the Bills to win against Miami. Bet the Bills to win the AFC. Because I'm going to do that because I already have the Ravens to win the AFC. I'm going to bet the Bills to win the AFC before this game.
Our man Tommy the Lip has some crazy prices on the Bills exactas that he bought a month ago because he's like that. But he's been telling me nonstop. The Bills.
I don't think they go there and win. I think the Ravens win the game, but they can. The Bills can absolutely win.
He said the Bills are going to crush the Dolphins this week.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that at all. Yeah, 100%. I'm on the Bills. Yes, Bills win the game. They are banged up. They are distracted. And this is a pissed off Bills team who played like crap against the Patriots, by the way.
Oh, man.
That was a team looking ahead to the Dolphin game. Patriots almost caught them. 5 turnovers in the first half, and you thought the game was over, and you almost lost the game. Patriots were right there in the second half. That game never should have been close.
Right.
5 turnovers should have been like a 50-7 win.
Some weather issues in that game, huh?
Yeah, a little, but nothing the bubble couldn't handle.
I know, but you got to play. You got to have them. You got to have that.
They couldn't do anything in the red zone.
I don't know if they're a mutter.
Their offense. Sure but wait. Going to Baltimore is not. You don't got to worry with the weather in Baltimore.
No, I'm just saying, like they just got to. They have to do it in January,
right? And they haven't.
Really believe it. But Buffalo, San Francisco would be an amazing Super Bowl.
It would. That would be interesting. That'd be fun. Packers. If they beat the Bears, they're in. Packers in prime time. I mean, I don't know what. Do you buy Jordan Love right now? Do they have their guy?
Is there even a question?
He's playing unbelievably well.
Is there even I didn't even know there was a question. I thought they got rid of the other guy so they could make this guy the guy. And I mean, there's a lot of questions going into the year. A lot of questions supposed to be doing.
Taking the Packers to the playoffs this year would be a pretty big statement.
Ahead of schedule.
Yeah, it's a pretty big statement. It's a huge feather in Matt LaFleur's cap. It's a big step in the career of Jordan Love.
Are they going to choke?
I mean, the Bears are playing really well. Bears are not a team. I would not want to have to play them in a must-win situation.
Hell no. Put that in the chat. Who's going to win that game on Sunday? Packers or Bears? Just win the game. Line's 3. Makes perfect sense. It's perfect. Put up 3, 44. Season win total for the Bears. Bet is right on the line with 7.5. Excuse me.
Bless you.
They have 7. The Packers are playing for their playoff life.
They are. Got to win.
I wasn't surprised this wasn't flexed to Sunday night because Buffalo, Miami's the AFC version of this.
Playoff game, literally.
It's a playoff game.
Championship game. AFC East title game. Never had
That's
it before.
fine. That's good. So we get that at night. But this is going to be a good football game.
Awesome game.
I think the Bears are live.
I would agree. If you're an Eagle fan, how worried are you here? Talked about dumpster fires.
Worried.
Yeah.
Done. It's a mess.
It's over. I mean, they're talking about firing Nick Sirianni.
It's amazing how fast
if they lose this game, there are people in Philadelphia who are saying if they lose this game, Nick Sirianni should be fired as the coach of the Eagles, and that Bill Belichick should be the coach.
Want to fire Bill Belichick in Philadelphia?
People are pushing it in Philly to go get Bill.
What?
Got the quarterback, got the defense. You know, get guys on that defense. You could really Belichick coach it up. The offense has got great players. AJ Brown, DeAndre Swift, run the football.
People come up with this stuff. Is this for clicks? What are you talking about?
I mean, it's always for clicks. Everything's for clicks, but
I can't believe I was watching a game and I was texting with Newbie and stuff, and you know he's been telling me literally on Cash Considers, he's been saying it for I don't know 8 weeks. He's got the Eagles game right against the spread every single week for 2 months.
Wow.
He was like Cardinals money line when we did this show, and I was like, come on. He's like, they could lose. They're going to lose. They're definitely going to cover. The Eagles defense is not right. It's not right. They can't stop anybody. They keep putting it on Jalen, who looks a step slow, hurt, whatever you want to call it. They're not winning. I don't know. 4 weeks ago, they were the odds-on favorite along with San Francisco to win the Super Bowl. Not just win the NFC, win the whole thing. Odds have come down. If it was our book, we'd be going out and getting all the Eagle money we can right now. They ain't winning 3 road games. How they winning 3 road games to get here?
No, I agree. Not with the defense they've got. No way. I mean, they're tired. I think that gauntlet broke them. That stretch where they're playing Bills and Cowboys and Niners and
oh man,
it just broke them. They ever since that they've just been a different football team. I don't think Hurts is right. Yeah. I mean, you know, for all the tush push success they've had, they can't just do the basic stuff. You know, they just can't move the football consistently enough. And then the defense, I mean, my God, the Cardinals did whatever they wanted to. That was like, wait, you're going to lose to the Cardinals? Like, what are you doing?
Did you see Kyler Murray come in a Crosby shirt?
He did.
Like he owns the state of Pennsylvania. He went into Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers, messed up their season for a while until they went to Mason.
Right.
And then he goes to Philly and trolls all the Philly fans walking in a Penguin jersey of Crosby, who they hate.
I mean, it's cool to see this because both the Cardinals and the Bears both have nothing to play for, but they're playing their asses off for their coaches.
Right.
And it's something to watch. Like, those are teams next year as we kind of project into next season as to the step.
Whoa. I don't think you can make that leap yet.
No, I'm not about
so much of the personnel.
I'm just saying they are playing hard for their coach, and the core unit's gonna be back. The core for the Bears is gonna be back. The core from the Cardinals will be back.
Maybe.
What do you mean maybe?
They both might start over quarterback.
No, Kyler Murray just signed that extension. He's not going anywhere. No one's taking that contract. Kyler's not going anywhere. Justin Fields signs contract. Both those guys aren't going anywhere. I'm going. The Bears would be stupid. There's so much dead money on that. It's dumb. You take that pick, the first pick, you trade down, you get multiple draft picks, you make somebody go up and get Caleb Williams, is going to fall in love with him, make someone give you a lion's ransom, and then drop down to 3, 4, or 5, and then take whoever the best player is at 3, 4, or 5. And there'll be plenty of players you can take. Marvin Harrison Jr. or the tackle from Penn State. You know, there's plenty of guys you can take right in that spot. 1, 2 will be, Williams will be 1, 2. Harrison will be 3 or 4. The kid from Penn State will be 3, 4, or 5. That's the draft. I mean, that's the Bears. If they do anything else, it's malpractice.
Here we go. They're gonna have to have somebody come on the show They're going to ask you, say it to my face, malpractice. What are
It
you
is
talking
to
about?
do that. I mean, if the Bears do that, that's
Settle down, counselor.
I'm not a big Justin Fields guy, but you've invested in the money in the guy. He's already was your top pick, first pick guy coming in. You got to ride with him. He's not the problem. Justin Fields isn't the problem for the Bears. Not even close.
I think he's playing, man.
I have no problem with Justin Fields. He's been great.
Playing. I don't know.
Those picks and whatnot, but there's things you can coach him up, and getting a rookie quarterback and starting over again. No, and you don't want to do that at all. He's got years under his belt already in the league.
Too hard.
And he can play in the weather. He can play in Chicago. So, yeah. All right. Well, one more before we let go of Sports Grid and Sirius XM here. If you're a Chief fan, are you worried about your team?
JC from KC, put your earmuffs on. Rest of you Chiefs fans too. You're still a good football team, but you're not a championship football team.
I'm not sure you're a good football team.
They still have Mahomes.
Yeah.
They can go win one game.
They got pieces, but
they can go win one game. I don't see the Super Bowl run. I don't.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in August. I sure as hell don't see it now. And it's getting even worse because this is the story out today about Travis Kelce, that they're worried about him being overexposed, that they think he's too famous, and that people are sick and tired of seeing Travis Kelce on their TV set. And they'd be right. Because people are sick and tired of seeing Travis Kelce on their TV sets.
Hold on. I got to get my glasses on for this. What in the world? Let me make sure. He's overexposed?
Yes. They're going to plan to reduce his TV
commercials. Do you think whoever said that has an MBA or a PhD? Like, do you have to be a really high-level academic to say that? What in the world would give you that idea that Travis Kelce is overexposed? I'm shocked. I can't believe it. We only see him walking into the stadium every week with his girl. We see her during the game. Oh, by the way, every commercial during the game is him. And you have my wife listening to their podcast every week, which
while the team falls apart.
Yeah. I don't know what. So he's to blame?
They're going to, I've said this and I'm going to say it again until everyone can hear me.
What are you doing?
In 2024, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are going to be very hard to find. And then in 2025, they both will be ghosts. You're not going to see them at all. They're going to be completely. They both have had way too much media. The public is starting to get very annoyed. Taylor is going to be on an international tour all of 2024. So she's not going to be around the team very much next year. Travis is going to have to he's going to be jet setting, flying all over the globe. That will take a toll on your mental and physical well-being. And he's prioritizing other things, and they know it. He wants to do anything else except play football. He's making business decisions every Sunday, and you can see it. Dropping passes.
I don't know.
Short arming passes.
Maybe the OC leaving, not being a part of the OC.
But Travis is dropping passes. It is right. There's a lot going on. It's over. Their self-proclaimed fake dynasty is over.
Their self-proclaimed fake dynasty. They won the Super Bowl. You know that, right?
Correct.
Multiple times.
Lots of teams have done that. Yes. Twice. Not multiple. I mean, technically multiple, yes, but twice.
Twice. That's multiple. That's more than one. Multiple, if you look it up.
In 4 years. To me, a dynasty is 3 rings in 4 years. Chiefs will not do that. Chiefs were never a dynasty. They had a hot run. They were good.
They won how many in how many years? 2 and 3
2 and 4 years.
2 and 4 years.
Got to win 3 and 4 years. And got to win at least one back-to-back. In order for 3 to 4, you'd have to win one back-to-back. And they haven't done that. And they will not win it this year. They're not going back-to-back because the proclamation that I made in August, The Eagles weren't winning the NFC East because no team since 03-04 has done so. That's happening.
That's going to come true.
That's happening. And no one's gone back-to-back since 03-04 when the Patriots did it, and that's happening again as well. Chiefs are not beating the Ravens, the 49ers, the Bills. No.
They could go on the road and win any one of those once.
Sure.
You think the Bills want to see the Chiefs?
Yes. Yes.
You think the Dolphins want to see the Chiefs?
No. Dolphins don't want to see anybody. They don't want to see the Patriots. Dolphins want to see nobody right now. They can't beat anybody. They're so banged up. They are literally limping into that game on Sunday.
Wants to see they want to see the Chiefs come in waltzing in there?
Baltimore?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. 100%.
Okay.
If the Chiefs score more than 24 points in a playoff game, I'll be stunned.
Wow.
Stunned. They don't have an offense. They don't have an offense. I mean, they lost to the Raiders on Christmas Day by giving up 2 touchdowns to the defense for the Raiders.
Yeah, that was weird.
They scored 3 points on offense, and the Raiders scored 3 points on offense and won the game.
It's a strange game. It's a very strange game.
So, for you guys who are live on YouTube and on Twitter, you're not moving. But if you were with us on Sirius XM channel 159 or on Sports Grid, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We got a big show coming up on Friday. Tomorrow's Thursday, show 500, Roll Call Friday happening on Friday. It's going to be a ton of fun. Make sure you're here tomorrow. Make sure you're here on Friday. For you guys who are live, though, you are getting bonus time. All right. We haven't done this in a while. Let's take a look at the NBA in the futures market. We haven't really looked ahead and looked at what the markets are doing. I thought it would be a nice way to kind of reset where we are here for the NBA. These are FanDuel numbers, obviously. Celtics just lost.
Getting fancy with the graphics. I love it.
Celtics just lost to OKC last night.
Yep.
But they're still 3-1 to win it all. Denver plus 420. Bucks plus 460. 11-1 Phoenix, 13-1 Philly, 14-1 Clippers, 18 T-Wolves. Lakers are at 20. Everybody else 23-1 if you like the Thunder, and up here.
Right.
Any number jump off the page to you that you're either surprised by or like?
Lakers should be higher.
Okay,
they ain't winning it. But
they're there because they're the Lakers.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And they take bets on them. So you take bets on them and you have to, rather than get fired and stuff, you have to move the number down. That's fine. I'm a little bit biased because I really enjoy watching the Sixers and I'm a big fan of Joel Embiid, but I think they can beat one of those 2 teams in the East. I don't know if they can beat them both, but that 13-1 will give you options. It's coming down. The West is priced right. I still cannot figure Phoenix out. I really can't. I look at that and go, You watch OKC in small pockets. It's a good basketball team.
They're going to be a massive pain in the ass to play.
They are going to be somebody's thorn
in
their side, whatever you want to call it. That is a problem.
Yeah, they have absolutely no, they have no fear. They're going to go up against whoever they face. They don't care who you are, what you mean. If it's the Nuggets, Lakers, it don't matter. They're going to ball and play, and you're going to be like, damn it, they're really hard to play against. SGA is just awesome. When he's on, they're really, really tough to beat. If I had to say pick an exacta right now, what 2 teams would you?
Oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean,
I
would get the Celtics on the. I would get the Celtics on the back end of the East ones, but I don't know who I would get on the West.
Denver.
I really don't. I
think Denver, Boston right now. If I had to bet it, it'd be Nuggets, Celtics for an exacta.
Who's in the Western Conference Finals with the Nuggets? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Could be OKC.
Can the Kings win a couple?
Could be OKC.
Get there.
Kings could, yeah. OKC could. Phoenix could.
That's what I mean. Like that's what I'm looking at. That I know the 3 favorites are. It's obvious. I'm looking at them other teams. The
Right.
Juice just came in and said there's Sixers ain't getting past the Celtics. Probably not.
Because they can't. As long as Al Horford's on the Celtics, they can't beat Boston. Because Al just neutralizes Embiid.
And I can't and I can't until I see, which we have seen for about 3 minutes all season, Suns' best 3 players playing together.
Right. Uh-huh.
How the hell are you buying them with any,
Right
feeling? Like it's
that's the team that feels like they're just biding their time to get to the playoffs. Like
the Suns?
Yeah, like they don't care about the regular season. Just get us there to the tournament and then we'll play.
I don't know, man. Like, and again, Tommy the Lips is one really just a good guy, and I really enjoy being friends with him. But like, we're always texting, and when I see him out, we hang out in a book, and how many he's betting real money, all this other stuff. Keeps talking about this Clippers team, and he just won't let it go. And I've seen him do this before, where he's telling me, get the Clippers stuff, get the Western Conference, get to win it all, get them exactas that you like to do. Leave yourself an option, because that team, when playing together and playing well, you want to talk about OKC being a problem? Who in the hell wants to play the Clippers in a series?
No way. I'm with you. Absolutely no way. We'll do the hockey here in just 1 second, but I just wanted to highlight one thing, what happened in women's basketball yesterday. Did you watch any of Iowa, Michigan State?
Saw the highlights.
I mean, this shot is just, look at that.
I can't wait until we get the clearance and we can show a clip. Like right here, boom. Just show the clip and show her walking back after she hit it.
Going up to the fans, high-fiving all the fans. And then my friend Keith Murphy just going, this is coming from the unofficial TV clock, was slightly ahead for everyone who was saying that Caitlin Clark's 40-piece or 3-pointer from the logo that won the game for Iowa, that it wasn't good, because on TV, you see the 000s on television on the bottom, and you see the ball still in her hands, but that picture is clear as day. The ball's out before the clock hits 000s.
Oh, yeah.
Shot was good, so you can stop the hate on Caitlin Clark on that. But what a shot, what a performance. I mean, what an athlete. She's like, I'm psyched to see her get the State Farm stuff, and people are starting to see a little more about Caitlin Clark and whatnot. But man, is she fun to watch, and she is just an absolute assassin. I can't wait for her to get into the WNBA. It's going to be awesome when she comes into the league, because she's going to go off in the WNBA. Score a lot of points.
I hope she doesn't come to Vegas.
Why?
To be a super team.
Oh, well, I'm fine with that. Dynasty. Already won back-to-back. Let's go 3 in a row. Let's go 4 in a row. 5 in a row. Let's go.
No, this is the Perrault qualifications to become a dynasty and able to use the word.
3 out of 4. Right. Yeah. 3 out of 4. You'd be a dynasty. You'd win 3 out of 4.
3 out of 4.
That's a dynasty.
So the Steelers in the 70s weren't a dynasty. They won 2. Then it was 2 years, and then they won 2 more.
They won
4 and 6 is a dynasty.
Yes, it is. 100%. Yes.
Damn right it is.
Absolutely.
And that ain't 3 and 4, 4 and 6.
No, but 4 and 6 is you can quantify that.
Can't repeat that.
People don't win 4 and 6. Like, that's
Hell
insane.
no, they don't.
So, like, there's absolutely no debate. The Steelers were a dynasty. The Cowboys were a dynasty. Like, yes,
Well,
they were. Yes,
they won 2.
They won 3, but they are absolutely a dynasty. So, but not the Chiefs. That's not a dynasty. They called themselves a dynasty, but it's self-proclaimed fake dynasty, which is what it was. NHL, same conversation real quick here on the NHL futures market, which is interesting. Anybody here jump out?
What was it like being back in Boston with this between the Celtics and the Bruins like stuff? Are they people over the top there?
No, crickets.
Really?
It's all about Bill. Bill, Brady. Bill,
Seriously?
Bill, Brady. Yep.
The damn Bruins are ridiculously good.
They won too many games. They got to win the cup for people to go gaga.
Oh.
Lucy with the football. People aren't buying it till they get to the playoffs.
Really?
Jim Montgomery is not liked by a lot of people in Boston. I learned that on my trip home.
Really?
I was amazingly surprised. I was actually kind of frustrated, to be quite honest. I was like, what the hell's that guy got to do?
I say that all the time. It's good to get out of the crucible of the city you're in, the team you're a fan of, and you listen to the nonsense. I mean, I've been listening to the nonsense with the Pickett and the Mason and whether he said he was going to be the backup.
Right.
I almost had to mute my friends. Like, stop talking about this. But back to the hockey. This is great. Look how deep this list is.
Right.
I would go almost. This is 15 teams. I think every one of them can win a Stanley Cup.
I would agree. But I think I would go even deeper than that.
Whoa. We're never getting off late night. I'll say it. Balls deep, Perrault.
Well, this is bonus time, so you don't have to worry about it. You can say whatever you want. So you can say that if you want.
Did you see that whole thing with Whitlock and all that other stuff? Oh, my God. What the hell's going on with those people?
That's a guy for a long time. That's the guy.
What are they doing?
Who wants everyone else to live in a world that he has to live in because he can't handle himself. So it's I've seen it for years with people. Like they either have, they're alcoholics, so they want to make alcohol, hard to get, or they're hooked on drugs, so all drugs got to be illegal. He's hooked on porn, so all porn's got to be illegal. It's can't. I mean, how many porn ads I've seen in my life that I've just kind of brushed past, just been like, whatever, didn't even register in my brain. But if you have a porn
I
addiction,
get them on my feed all the time with these spots. They just
I get naked women all the time.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Right. But it doesn't, but you would never go off on a full rant about how ESPN is to blame because the immoral Disney people are there to create a world in which pornography is normalized. Like you would never, like it wouldn't even complete, like your brain would never even go there because you're not hooked on it. So you don't need to worry about it. You just go past. It's nothing. It's more bullshit fodder. It's part of life unless you have a problem with it. And then it becomes right in your face. And I'm well documented. I had a strip club addiction and blah, blah, blah. So then everyone else has to be stopped because you can't handle yourself, Jason Whitlock. Everyone else has to be.
Is that what
like
that's
you.
about? Really?
Yes. God, he's a puke. Man, I've done radio with him. I've met him in Kansas City. It just, God, he is such a, like not one of all the people I've ever met him, worked with him, whatever. I've never heard anybody say like that guy is a stand-up guy.
It's weird.
Nobody. Like Whitlock is no thanks. But anyways, what about Vancouver?
What about them? They're playing great.
27-1. I bet it yesterday. Why are they double the Kings and the Golden Knights? Because they have to play Colorado. If the angle is okay, they got to play Colorado. Well, then why are Colorado's odds, Vegas's odds, and the Kings' odds half or even more so than Vancouver's?
The path.
The path's going to be. If the path started today, they'd play a wild card team. They lead the division.
Right, and then they have to play Colorado, and then they have to play the other division, right?
So flip it around. Vegas.
No, wait, that's
Vegas.
not right.
Vegas has to play Colorado. Vegas would play the LA Kings. I mean, LA and Vegas will play each other. Right now, it would be Vancouver, and LA and Vegas would play each other, and Vancouver would play a wild card team. Colorado will play the other. They'd play the lowest wild card team. I mean, I did this like the.
So Vancouver would have to get a wild card team, and then they get the winner of the Vegas and the Kings.
And then they play Colorado. So
then they play Colorado.
So why wouldn't the Vegas and Colorado?
Because they haven't done it before. That's the other thing. Who's betting them?
The Kings haven't done it before either. The Kings haven't done it.
The Kings won a Stanley Cup not that long ago.
Was it 7 years ago with a whole different roster?
Yes, but it's still, they've done it before. So people, you have to understand too, a lot of times it's not what you're seeing. It's what people are betting too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who in the hell's betting the Vancouver Canucks? A lot of people are sleeping on the Canucks.
I took it 27-1 yesterday. I was like, okay, I'm taking this. Like it's 27-1. Like I don't understand. Just from a hedge perspective, just put it down. Thatcher Demko is playing his ass off.
Wow.
17-7-3 at home. I mean, he was 7-1 at home, I believe, in December.
Well, they have a plus 46 goal differential, which is actually the
better
best.
That's better than the Knights and better than the Kings. It's best in the league.
And they're best in the league.
Look at their home record. They have the same home record as the Golden Knights do. I don't get
the best in the NHL.
I don't get the number. I bet it yesterday. I was like, I don't get the number on the Canucks. It does. Like, I get the idea that no team from Canada can win the cup. Okay, I get that. But just from a value perspective,
what do you mean no team from Canada can win the cup?
Can happen.
What
Linus
is in the chat. We got a lot of people in Canada that like hockey. And what
they know.
What do you mean?
They know it. So I was in high school last time it happened.
About Toronto.
1993 was the last time it happened. I was a sophomore in high school.
So, or a junior high school.
They were
93. That's the last time a cup win happened. I'm 46 years old. So I don't think they're going to win the thing.
You can bet that, by the way.
A Canadian team?
Yeah,
plus 5,000. 50.
Get them all. Get all the Canadian teams.
You can. Yeah. Good luck. But I just think from a value perspective of getting, all I need them to do is get to the Western Conference Finals. And I think it's a really good possibility that Vancouver could be there. I just don't get looking at the numbers with Colorado, Vegas, and LA, and they're here, and then double it. That's Vancouver. Huh?
You got to watch the way they play. I don't know if they're a playoff hockey.
What, Thatcher Demko's got a goals against average of 2.6. That's not good enough.
No, but they're not playing the same game in the regular season. You've seen it now multiple years. It turns into a different game. Teams are going to be changed too. Don't forget NHL trade deadline. Like they all kind of
we're just anticipating the Golden Knights and the Colorado and the Kings are going to get that much better than
no,
Vancouver.
I don't think you're assuming anything. I think you have a starting point. It's like the polls in college. They were already voted to be the favorites. So to get them out of there, one of these teams has to do what Vancouver's doing. We'll see it. Listen, season starts now. Like this is you. I mean, it's crazy because they've played half the games and it's only January.
Right.
Right. They pack in half the season so quickly, and now they get spaced out. They have the All-Star break, all that other stuff. We'll see. But I can't argue that the price isn't good. It's a good price for that team right now. We'll see if it can continue.
One more quick one, and then we'll get to better to book it.
Yep.
New law in Vegas went into effect yesterday.
What is this shit?
F1. This is the F1 law. No more standing on walkways on the Las Vegas Strip. And you might go, well, where the fuck did this come from? This came from because during the F1 race, people were standing and they were ripping little holes in the barrier and they were watching the game. They're watching the race. There's nothing against it. There's no law against standing on a public street, essentially a public walkway. You can't tell somebody to move. Now you can say you can't remove that. You can't break that, but it was already there. You can't do that. Also, the escalators going up and going down. People were standing on the escalators, just going up and down, watching the race. They were saying you can't do that. And they're like, what
the escalators were even working.
Right, exactly. But what the fuck? What do you mean I can't sit here? It's a public fucking walkway. I can do what I want. Oh, let's change the law. Somebody got a bag. Unanimous vote. Clark County no longer allowed to stand on a public space. Stopping, standing on strip, pedestrian bridges, and walkways now banned. You can't stop.
Do you know how hard this is going to be to enforce?
They're not going to enforce it. They're only going to enforce it during the F1 race. They're not going to enforce this.
People are coming for the Super Bowl.
No one's going to enforce this.
People stand there and take pictures every day for hours.
No one's going to enforce this.
Not to mention the amount of business that goes on those pedestrian bridges. A lot of different businesses, and scams. I'm not just talking about guys selling waters.
No, scams, card tricks, scams,
all the time.
Pictures.
I used to say this.
Did you see the video, by the way, the Mickey Mouse guy smoking the heater?
Oh, yeah. Minnie. That was Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
With a mustache thicker and darker than yours.
You're seeing the movie Bad Santa, right?
Yes.
Where he's Santa Claus ripping the heaters. That was the bad Minnie Mouse version.
Yeah. But like when I worked on the strip, I used to come home and whine out loud to nobody that was listening, but my wife sometimes, or my in-laws or whomever, and be like, they got to clean the strip up.
Right.
There's just too much stuff going on out there between the panhandlers, the drug dealers, it's people having sex in them places. Like there's all kind of things happening. Some of them escalators and elevators and turns and this and that. You're like, what the hell is going on? So now they made it a law. And the first thing I thought was, this is who is going to be assigned to that beat to say, you can't let anybody stop.
It's just move it along. All you're going to hear is move it along, move it along. It's not going to be. They're
so
never
no
going
more drummers.
No one's, no one's going to get arrested. I think it'll be like a 1 week thing and they'll be right back. This is not going to be enforced until there's an event on the strip that they need to enforce it, meaning the F1 weekend. That's the only time this will be enforced.
You serious?
In my opinion, I could be wrong, but I don't believe you're absolutely right. What cop is on the beat to walk around the strip and say, hey, buddy, you got to move. You can't be here.
And then a guy says, I'm just taking a picture. Like,
Right.
and he gets nasty
Yeah.
back and says, well, you can't stand here.
Well, I'm waiting for my
I'm
Uber ride.
standing here.
I'm waiting for my ride. I'm waiting for my friend.
For anybody.
I'm waiting for my mom to come out. I'm waiting for . No, you can't do that here. What do you mean? I can't stand on a street on a pedestrian bridge?
This is going to cause issues.
No,
man.
they're not going to do it. They're not going to enforce it. It's only going to enforce it when there's something going on, F1 race type stuff happening on the strip. Otherwise, this is for like the parades that they're going to think is going to happen. This is for
right.
Anything that's happening on the strip where they don't want people on the bridge. This gives them a legal right to kick you out. Because there was no law on the books before yesterday. Unanimous vote, by the way. Unanimous vote by the Clark County Commission. They all got the bag.
Put it through.
They all got paid. Must be nice.
Send it home, Jerome.
Late Christmas present from all those people who got that and get the. So, like, if you're ever come here, just know that you're not allowed to actually stand on the bridges anymore. But I don't think you have to worry about it, to be quite honest. All right, just two quick ones here today for Better to Book It. Both futures. Arizona.
Look at you.
Arizona loses 3 of 5. Gets smoked at Stanford. Perfect time to take them. Wildcats
Took this
11-1.
team down before the break. We talked about this team and how they weren't going to lose until February and all this other stuff. And all they've done. What did you say? They lost 3 of 5.
Lost their Pac-12 opener. Ken Pom has them favored in every game remaining. Has them winning out.
So you got 11-1.
Yep.
So do you still think they win the Pac-12? Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Pac-12
sucks.
is terrible.
It's terrible.
I'm
not sure they lose again until the tournament.
Wow. So would they be a 1 seed? I mean, if you get an
Maybe
11-1,
maybe not
as a 1 or 2 seed,
probably a
okay.
2. Yeah, probably 2 seed.
That's fine. I think that's a legit shot. That, I mean, this is what we've done on this show is like talked about different bets and people take them or, get their own ideas and use our information or whatever we're talking about to do it. Getting 6 to 8 teams in the NCAA tournament to win it all now as you go, it's not a bad move. It makes it fun.
Well,
You don't have to bet every game.
I have Marquette 20-1.
Okay.
I have Creighton 30-1. Both those numbers have moved. Jays are 20-1. Marquette's 15, 14, 13.
Right.
And now Arizona 11-1. Some books have them at 8-1. I shopped around. Some books are 8-1. I went Arizona. Right. So this is FanDuel.
Yeah, some books only move the damn number one way down. They never move it back up. This is fair. They've lost a couple games.
Yep.
Go get the Arizona money now.
I was waiting for them to be over 10-1 and waiting for them to go through a bad stretch. And
you said after they lost that game to Florida Atlantic.
Yep. I was waiting on it. And then they lost to Stanford. I
waited.
waited.
Game, right? Yes. You said when they lose the next game.
I didn't think they get killed, though. Stanford killed them on New Year's Eve.
Right.
Stanford took them on the woodshed. So I wasn't expecting that. And then when that happened, I was like, okay, let's watch what the number does. And FanDuel had them at 11-1. So I was like, okay, that's good. DraftKings is 10-1. I think I saw another book. I forget which book I saw on the East Coast was 8-1 for Arizona, but FanDuel at 11-1 was the highest I saw, so I grabbed it at 11-1. And then Vancouver at 27-1 to win the cup.
We talked about that in the hockey segment. If you guys
So you can go back and
just
watch
caught
that.
up, go back and listen to that. It's a legitimate bet. I don't think it might be one of those ones where you're going to be live for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, the NHL playoffs are the ultimate.
Wide open.
Wide
And it's 27-1. I mean, it's
baseball just did it.
Right.
I don't know if the football can do it.
Drop one unit on it. I'm not saying drop heavy, but drop a unit on it, and it's 27 extra money. And I'm not guaranteeing it, but it gives you such an awesome hedge opportunity because you'd have so much to play with. You could bet 5 units on the Western Conference Finals, and then if they win that, you could bet 5 units on the other side and still be sitting with a profit of 15 units. So, like, it's worth it. I mean, I thought it out heavily. I was like, you know what? I love that bet. I like that bet a lot.
You can bet against them as soon as if they make the playoffs. You can just bet the series price against them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And still make money if you wanted to.
Absolutely. No super chats today, but if you guys are new, super chat questions when you guys have a topic you want us to get into. It's the first of the year. So as we grow here, you guys will have chances to jump in with questions and topics that you want us to discuss each and every week. So, and most likely people are holding off for Friday, which will be show 500. Favorite thing about today is what?
One, the show's back. Thank God. Because I've been walking around talking to nobody. Nobody listens to me. Nobody believes anything I say. I don't believe anybody. I'm ready to, I'm applying for pizza delivery jobs and everything else because I don't know what's coming after the Super Bowl, but we'll still be here doing the show. So that's good. 2 things, favorite thing about today. 1, my hat. The kids got me this hat. I don't
You're
know
a prick.
if you've seen it. My prick hat, yes. So I posted it on Twitter, but I figured I'd wear it today. At the end of the show because I don't know. It's a trucker hat. It's a curved bill, and everybody's got an opinion on it. I'm just wearing it around. Yeah. So that's number 1. And number 2, we have, again, we're talking still. Nobody knows what they're doing for the Super Bowl. We're trying to plan out a couple shows where we take the show on the road. We bring the BvB to you. But you guys come here every day, and we bring Vegas to you here in the BvB chat. We've made some friends. We've gone and met some people. DeFrabery, I think, is coming in this weekend. Skip, reach out to me. We'll come down and how come. I'm going to be at Circa on Sunday. 100% I'm going to be at the Circa Sportsbook on Sunday because that Survivor thing is going to be settled. 4 people were survived. They chopped the pot, $7 million. They're playing for the last 2.2. The guys that won are going to be there. So I made it a point to hang out. So if you're in town, go to Circa on Sunday. You'll find.
Is Mark coming in? Because he bought in. I know he's out, but he bought in.
I don't know if he's coming yet or not. Hopefully he is.
Because he's live with the other team.
Correct. So we'll hang out down there and see that. But one of the meetings that we went down and took the picture of that I posted to your response about us still being around. That was a nice thread you wrote on Twitter, by the way.
Yeah.
But I saw it late and I posted the pictures of us.
Yeah.
And there's multiples. Cool. I've been waiting, trying to figure out the perfect time to post a little something about us still being here. Like we ain't going nowhere. 2024, we're not fucking leaving. Okay. Put that in your short, and we're not fucking leaving. You're going to have to really take us out to come get us. You can come, just make sure you don't miss. But one of the meetings was with Ryan and Dave, the guys from Indiana.
Oh, good. Yeah, they reached out to you. Good. Yeah. I that sparked my memory. Yeah, go ahead.
March.
Yeah.
Apparently they're coming.
Yeah. He asked me, Dave, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to give you recommendations. My bad, man. You hit me right when I was traveling from New York.
Which we're going to get to.
Yeah.
Yes. But I texted Ryan, and Ryan texted me about coming out and all this stuff. And he asked me if I had the possibility of officiating his wedding. I thought, how wild would that be to do? He's coming out, getting married, bringing people, a BvB wedding. How
Wait,
crazy
you're actually ordained, aren't you?
I never went through and did it. I never did it.
Oh, I thought
never
you
did
did it
it.
before.
No, I had it teed up to do.
Okay, I
and
knew there was
never-
some
I
story you
never-
told
I
me
never
that you were
went through
supposed to
it.
do.
Yeah, I was going to do it.
It's not hard
Now
to
I'm gonna
do.
have
My
to
uncle
emergency.
did mine. It's not hard to do.
I
It's
know.
pretty easy.
Yeah. So, well, listen, that might be the next career. The way all this sports gambling media and different things are going. I'm being an ordained guy and do weddings. Come up. I'll give you a parlay on the way out. All those kind of things.
Go ahead.
fun.
Yeah. That's
But,
tremendous.
Yeah. So the boys are coming in March. They're bringing the girls. I don't know when yet. I gave them a couple of recommendations off the strip.
Nice. Okay. That's
we'll
my bad.
talk more about it. But
Go to Durango. That's I was gonna recommend that.
I told them Red Rock. I said they're bringing the girls. There's
Go
a
to
lot of
Durango.
things
Go to Durango. It's newer, nicer, brighter, girlier. Red Rock's pretty guyish. Durango is definitely female. Huge female skew on Durango. You been there yet?
Yes, multiple. I've been
So
there
it's
multiple
light,
times.
it's bright, it's airy.
I understand.
I ate
But
dinner there
there's
at,
more to do
Christmas Eve.
at Red Rock.
There is?
Yeah.
What?
If people are bringing their families, you can walk outside
the
and walk
family.
to downtown Summerlin.
That's
It's-
true.
It's all.
But you
right
can walk across
there.
the street and you can go into the Sundry. That whole
True.
area across the
At-
street
at
is all
Durango
huge.
Station. Yep, you can.
So at Durango, you walk
Yeah.
right across. I mean,
can.
Durango is that is for you guys looking for off the strip, and they're trying to get people to go there. So the prices it's still expensive at Red Rock. Durango's cheaper than Red Rock is right now, just because they're trying to get people to go there to
Right.
stay there. So people just don't know about it yet. It's like Fontainebleau. You could stay at Fontainebleau right now for $110. Won't be that way soon.
Really?
Yeah. Fontainebleau right now, they're desperate to get people in. Desperate to get people in at Fontainebleau.
Wow.
So like you can stay there pretty cheaply during the week right now.
CBW said in the chat, I'll give odds on how long the wedding lasts. Listen, I was
Aw,
the best man in
come
7
on.
weddings.
That's right.
and
You
there's
are a curse.
6 divorces.
They're a curse. My favorite thing about today, I don't know if you can see this. This is I get to wear my brother's hat. This is his farm. It's his hat.
Mountain View Farm. Look at that.
That's my brother's farm. So I was
Nice.
excited to get back to be able to. I've been asking him for a hat for the show forever. Going, give me a damn hat. I'll wear it on the show.
Right.
And we finally, when I saw him, we had an amazing barbecue lunch. It was tremendous. And then he was like, I've got your hat. I was like, sweet. So you can look up Mountain View Farm on CSA. I think it's mountainviewfarmcsa.com is their website, but you can check out what they're doing. And they're getting ready for hopefully a dry run because his field flooded again, but flooding in the wintertime is not a big deal. That's somewhat typical, but flooding in the summer when their crops are all in the ground, that's when it sucked for him last year. So that was cool. Big week for us, guys. Thank you for being here. Like button, subscribe button, leave a review, tell someone about the show. And if you've not subscribed to the YouTube channel, as Dave said, we're going for
2,000.
We can get 2,000. It shouldn't be difficult. Let's get to 2,000 likes, follows, subscribers on the YouTube channel. We'll have giveaways and other fun stuff coming that we're kind of trying to figure it out. He is Dave. I am Matt. We are back on Thursday, tomorrow, for BvB. Out. Let's see. Leave a comment after the show. I agree with that. That's good. Oh, shit. Super. I'm wearing a LeBron short suit outfit. Holy shit. Dave's Daily Picks. Wow. That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy that Ryan is that guy whose dad died.
Oh,
who
I know.
listens to the show, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dave sent me the text, and then Ryan sent me a text. I'm like, these dudes, like, they want us to go to the wedding.